evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome. Are we well? Happy Friday. Happy end of February. Can you believe it? End of February already. I mean, I don't want to be one of those ones that say, well, this year is like flying. Can you not hear me? Can we hear? You can't hear. Right, you can't hear me just yet. Right, bear with me 2 seconds. This is going to be the thing right there. Can Musterman's chat hear me now? That's the question. Hear me now. There we go. That's us. Welcome, one and all. Happy end of February, we say. Of course, as I say, I'm one of those people I was like, oh, you know, the year's not going that fast. It's the end of bloody February already. What the hell's gone on? Welcome, one and all, to what I hope is going to be quite a fun stream tonight. For those people, of course, in my chat predominantly, who of course have seen how this has worked recently, co-streaming's a thing on Twitch, and I quite liked it. I did some co-streaming as part of the deal with Jameson, where we had Lelujo on there, we had Zealand on there, we had Clates on there, and I think we need to do more of it. As a community, I think we need to do a bit more, and tonight there was a great opportunity for tonight, to be honest, because I've not streamed for about a week now, or a couple of days, so about a week. I'm at the end of Season 1 in my journey save, and I'm in the 2nd Division of Finland, and I love a transfer stream. And I know who else loves a transfer stream, okay? It's the one and only Musterman. Now, Musterman loves a transfer stream probably more than I do, to be honest. I mean, I can make a transfer stream last about 3 weeks, right? But this guy is going to show us how to do things a little bit differently around here, because I've never really done data. I've never really understood data. We've talked about it a couple of times on the FM Show podcast when he's been a guest on there, and he is certainly one of our Hall of Famers. Do you know what I mean? One of our Hall of Famers at the FM Show. So, do you know what? Without further ado, shall we say hello to the man, not a myth, the legend, Musterman. Let's see if this works. Does it work? Hey! Without Freddie ado, says Johnny Trotter. He's 100% right. Musterman, how are you, my friend? Are you well?
I'm fantastic. I'm brilliant. Looking forward to this. This should be... Well, I say I'm looking forward to this. I've done a little bit of testing ahead. I'm a little bit scared. But before any of that, happy birthday. As you
Thank you.
Since I think that is the most important part to start the day with, right?
I think probably, yeah. Yeah, well, we could go with that. That's very, very kind of you.
Do you have any party hats nearby? Maybe some streamers, just to really put you on the spot?
Oh, you know what? I haven't got streamers. I can get a trifle. That's kind of a thing we do around here. We have a trifle, so I can bring a trifle in. We have a birthday trifle. We can sit and do some data-driven transfers while I give myself diabetes. That seems to be the best way to celebrate, I think.
I think that's the perfect birthday present. Everyone likes a bit of diabetes, right?
100%, and I'm not doing a little bit, I'm doing the full diabetes, so I'm going to give myself type 2.0, no, 2.5, I'm going to go full, type 4 diabetes, what I'm going to go for. Yeah, I'll get the trifle out in a wee second. Happy 29th birthday, thank you, Johnny Trotter. I like you a lot. You can definitely come back, because you have shaved off a lot of years, unless you've worked out that I was born on a leap year. Possibly that's maybe how I'm 29. But yeah, so what's been happening in the world? Should we say some hellos, Barry? Because I love this joint chat. It's brilliant. And this is brand new. If you've not seen how this works, by the way, viewers, what we're doing is obviously we're merging the streams together, so all the chat comes and joins collectively. So we've got Rogi over on my side. He's done 44 months on the subs. Musterman, I've seen some of your people are in there subbing as well.
Indeed, I've got to say a huge shout out to Johnny Trot and Ladislav, our massive fan. This won't make sense to you guys, but it's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. I'm sorry there's not a soundbite for you guys this evening.
Can we not get soundbites on?
My stream overlay, it just would have been really, really weird because I wouldn't know where to put things. So that's my setup, that side.
Got you. Question from my chat. Musterman's a little bit quiet on my end. Can we turn him up? Don't know. is the answer, really, to be honest, because that requires both of us trying to work out technology. But what I mean is me trying to work it out at my end. So I'm going to say no, but Musterman's coming through loud and clear in my ears.
Does that change anything at all? Or is that now super loud for you, Tony?
Well, it makes no difference for me. Makes no difference for me. Have we got a bit of stream quality issue, possibly? Really grainy, apparently. Right, let me just... we should be running fairly good. I've got some... where's my stream settings? Let's have a look at this. We are doing this in kind of a little bit on the fly. Now, the problem is that... Twitch have set this up and said, oh, this is a great idea, but it does need a little bit of tweaking still, right? It's not brilliant, right? We're going to try our best, so there'll be some things that might be a little bit off and maybe not quite what you're expecting and what you're hoping for, but yeah, I'm putting out at 7. I'm having to put out 720 to try and keep the bandwidth. So let me know if it changes drastically. Someone's face looks even worse than normal. Says crude motor. Is that me or you? That's we'll go with either way, to be honest.
Well, I think, yeah, maybe I can... Let me try and do a couple of things on this side. What is... So that's... can I do maths on the fly? See if that will help at all. Nope, that's just now grainy and small on my end.
Oh, mate, don't try and do maths. Don't try and do maths. It doesn't work. It's not what we're here for. Let me see if I can turn the output volume. Does that help? Musterman, can you talk again? Can see if that's going to be...
Yeah, okay. Hello.
Does that help anybody there?
Words. I don't know what words to say.
Oh, the Mad Scientist here. That's what we do. We say words and then Mad Scientist jumps in. There we go. Jabbets. That sounds much better, apparently. Perfect. Crudmore says, my face is acceptable. It's the grainy Musterman that's the problem. Well, this is CCTV Musterman. This is his Crime Watch era.
I've been running over old grannies. I think that's what it was.
You know what? No. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop myself before I start saying things that are probably going to get me in trouble. But there we go. Welcome, one and all. I should give some context just while people are adjusting their stream settings and hoping that things balance out in the pipeline. Evening, Enrise. How are you, my friend? Welcome in. Cass is here as well, by the way. If there's a technology issue, it's easier if you just tag which streamer is having the issues. It's probably me, Cass, I'm guessing. That's probably me. I was very kind of you.
I'm pretty certain it's my end.
So here's where we are, right? Here's where we are. We're second division of Finland, okay? Now, the reason that we've came here, Musterman, is because... a little thing. Now, let me tell you a story about a thing called FM25. Now, it doesn't exist anymore. So I figured I was going to make a new save. And I like saves that have stories, right? So I started unemployed, no badges, no experience, nothing like that. And got a job in the second division of Finnish football with a team called HIFK. You can be a mod over here if you want, Crudmore. I'm more than happy to give some people work where there's no payment. If you'd like to, you're more than welcome. Ladislav is man. Welcome in. That's a wonderful, wonderful name. Welcome in. Appreciate the follow. Very kind indeed. So we're here, and we're 10 games. We took over the job 10 games in, right? And Musterman, you'll know there's a league split, yeah, obviously, in Finland. And I took the job here, where we played Karpa, which I presume is the Finnish word for car park. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll say yes. I'll talk on behalf of all of Finland.
Yeah, okay, cool. Because you've got a bit of experience in the Finnish community, so we'll go with that. So I drew with car park, 1-1, and then lost the next 4 matches, because that's kind of how it works. I organised a friendly against the wonderfully named Chicken Wings, beat them 7-1, clucking brilliant. Then followed that up with a 2-1 defeat in the league. So morale wasn't quite carrying through as I hoped. But we managed to get it working. So 4-4-2 is what we're playing, which again is quite an important thing to think about. We beat Yapsh, then we lost to Yarrow quite heavily, then we beat Salpar, drew with JJK, and then towards the back end of the season, once we got in that relegation group, things were starting to do fine, right? You know, won a couple of games, drew a couple of games, we lost one match. Happy days, happy days. I'm classing that as success. As Cass says, round here, winning is not a thing we do, you know?
I mean, genuinely, I think those results are sensational. I was having a look through. You are the only amateur team in the league. So everyone else has players on real contracts. So to win even one game is fucking incredible.
Yeah, do you hear that, chat? To win even one game is fucking incredible. I've won more than one. So here's where we are then. So end of season, we now have to try and work out what we're going to do for next season. You have pointed out the elephant in the room, which is the fact that we are amateur, both in our performance and our setup. I've done some stats for you, Muster Man, because, yeah, that's right, Rogue. Yeah, this is not a sponsored stream anymore. We can swear again. Oh my God, I've had 4 weeks of not being able to say cunt. Oh God, it's been hard.
Can we just do that for like the next 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Just use the C word over and over again.
Get all of your swears out right now. Everyone in the chat, right? No mods are going to ban you, right? You say whatever you want. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be like, oh, Minge. Good shout for Minge. So if anyone shouts out piss flaps, then well done. Welcome in. Yes, but yeah, I've not been allowed to swear. So I've had to be a professional muster man, and you know that's not my vibe, right?
I don't. You're doing yourself harsh. I mean, I would say that you are at least restrained. I would say for a late night stream, I might only hear you swear, say, once or twice every 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. I'll take that then. You obviously have me on in the background as you wander around doing other things, but that's fine. Yeah, but like I say, I haven't been allowed to swear for a couple of weeks, so here we are now. Cock piss partridge. That's the one. So I've got some stats for you, Muster Man, and this is where my stats come from. Pens and paper. I'm old school, right? Because you wanted some context to help me in my recruitment, didn't you?
Originally, yes.
So,
yes, I've seen the state of things. Maybe we're a lost cause anyway.
Probably, but at least we're going to have fun while we try. So, interesting stats that I found. We've had 44% possession of the football. Puts us 11th in the league. Which another way of looking at that is we're second bottom in terms of possession of the football, which is fine. Because we haven't really been wanting to keep the football. We've wanted to lob it to our tall player up front. Let me just show you that. So we have the second highest amount of yellow cards. So we are angry. We've scored 33 goals, which is the second worst in the league. We've conceded 46 goals, which is also the second worst in the league. We are 9th in the league for cross completion out of 12. But interestingly, we're 6th in the league for chances created, 4th highest for the number of shots, and 3rd highest for number of shots on target. So some of those statistics don't quite make sense. We're getting a lot of shots on target, clearly not converting, so striking talent is a concern. We've got the 4th highest dribbles in the league, and the 3rd highest high-intensity sprints. Now, I don't know whether this is our last few games fudging the stats a little bit here, potentially. But then defensively, 8th highest in the league for blocks, so 4th bottom essentially. 6th highest for possession won, 6th highest for clearances, and 5th highest for interceptions. What do you think? What do you make of that?
I think it sounds like you're a very, very confusing team. I mean, genuinely, like it seems that you have been creating chances. I think you've got that striker who's been really good for you, Olmanen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's like as your target forward, I think, who's been absolutely sensational. He's massively overperforming his XG. He's really, really good. Whereas all the rest of your players seem to not be quite as good. So it looks like it kind of tracks to what I would expect. That you lob it up to the big man, he does good things. If anyone else has to do it, they shoot straight at the goalkeeper.
Yes, yes. Can I throw you a curveball here? Ulmanen has left because he agreed to go to a club that were going to offer him money, like the absolute fraud and mercenary that he is. Mean Wolf, appreciate that. 12 months, by the way. Very, very kind on the subs there. You wonderful human being. I should say, this is the current state of play with regards to players that we can actually play right now.
Yeah. I mean, you say that Olmanen's leaving. How many players do you actually have on the books for next year? Before they get poached by anyone else?
We have, I reckon we've got 4 or 5, maybe. We might have a defence possible. Well, no, we don't. The defenders are all leaving. Let's have a look there. Papsy's leaving, isn't he? Yeah, he's going, so let's take him out of the team there. He's gone. Azuri, I think, is also going. Yeah, he's leaving on a free, so he's out of there. What started out as looking quite good is now looking very worrying. He's leaving as well, of course. There's the right back. He's gone. The goalkeeper is leaving. Let's take him out. We've got this. Yeah. It's not
great as long as your opponents don't bother attacking down your right-hand side or at your defence, or you expect players to score, you should be fine.
Perfect. If they've changed the rules, right, well, you have to have 11 players every single week, then there's a concern. But if they let us just have 4, and everyone else has to have 4, then I think we're doing all right. Because we've brought these players in, so these are our players, not like the nonsense rubbish we had that was already there.
Okay, so I don't want to spoil ahead, but there is the massive advantage that you have is that by all your players being on amateur contracts, you have zero concerns about wage budget. No one's getting paid anyway.
Yep.
So there's no harm in having a squad of 99 players.
Strap in, everyone. We're bringing in 95 players tonight. Right. How do you want to work this out then? Right, because I've not worked this style of transfers before, okay? And I'm the Cult of Zane. Welcome, the Cult of. A pleasure to see you as well, my friend. Again, there's another wonderful human being, the Cult of. If you're not following him, you need to, because he's a man who knows exactly how all this sort of stuff needs to work. Right, where should we start then? Do we start at the base and go from goalkeeper up? I mean, have you got a plan as to what you'd like to do? Do the chat want to get involved as to what they think might be the way to do this?
Absolutely. I was going to say, I think it'd be great if the chat have certain questions they want to ask. I have some questions I want to ask of you, just to put you on the spot, to be nice and fair, which is going to be kind of more around the tactical side, so that we can, if we want to try and use data to approach our recruitment, kind of helps to know exactly what we're trying to do there. So in terms of the tactical approach, is it a case of that was what you wanted to do with the players that you had? You're like, this is what I think is going to be most suitable? Or is it that you're like, this is what I want to do as my tactical style?
To be honest, I am quite old school. I'm a 4-4-2 manager, let's face it. Matty C's in there 15 months. Dan FM, 43 months. Hype Train's on its way. Choo-choo, choo-choo. We're all having a lovely time. I'm old school 4-4-2, but that was probably born out of what was available to us. I didn't really want to go 4-2-4. I feel as though that's a little bit too, dare I say it, meta. So essentially, given the fact that we've only got 4 players on the books, I don't think we can talk tactics until we've got players in, really, because whoever we recruit is going to change how that tactic looks. If we end up with no wingers, we're going to have to play diamond. If we've got loads of wingers, we can play wide. But we're not going to play, as the Arsenal says in my chat, we are not playing 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress. So it's not going to be a thing.
Beautiful. That's genuinely great to hear, because if we had to recruit for the system you've got, I did a little cheating. I looked ahead at what kind of players might be interested in coming. I think it's going to be a struggle.
Okay, cool. So we're not going to be able to recruit 4-4-2. Right.
I think you will be able to recruit 4-4-2. I think that it's going to be quite tricky, though, in terms of you're going to have very limited options. There's only a finite number of players who are willing to join. And so the approach that we're probably going to want to take is seeing what the players that will join can do, and then adapting to that, rather than this is what we do, let's find players that meet that.
Yeah, exactly. Mean Wolf, we're not doing Build a Nation Finland yet. At the minute, we're just doing a journeyman. But who knows what happens. If we fall in love with HIFK, we might end up taking them to the first division of Finland. That I should point out, by the way, as well, that HIFK are a supporter-owned club. So they are morally wonderful. We love them. Zeep's just hit the 25 months. That's the hype train on its way as well. So yeah, they are a fan-owned, so that's fantastic. Casa suggested we trial every single free agent in Finland, and I think that's not the worst shout, to be honest.
Genuinely, yeah. So I think what would be good is let's have a look at the goal players that are actually going to be sticking around. So you have those 4. I think you've got a couple of players in the reserves as well. But you have a left back, Kevin Moihager.
Oh, I like him.
I think he's definitely sticking around.
Yeah. Let me show you him.
He's good.
He's good. Look at this guy. Look now. Sorry, Musterman. I know you scream at the fact that we can see attributes here. I'm happy to put your skin on and take all that nonsense away, if that helps. But I'm bad enough with seeing all these numbers without having things taken away from me.
Oh, no, absolutely. Keep the attributes up. But if you could add the pizza chart on, I know that it's incorporated in the SAS skin. I think it'll be really good for kind of understanding a little bit about their performance.
It is there, but it's behind my head. That's the problem. Right? So, what I might do, because you're a fan of the pizza charts, is we can either put yours on, or we can put WTCS has got a pizza chart that's and I can just do that. So let me. Do you want yours? Should we do yours?
No. Let's go and do WTCS, because I think that it's got the attributes, which is brilliant for hybrid. What everyone.
Yeah.
For what your audience are used to, but you've also got access to it without it being hidden behind your head.
Yeah. So let's go to. There we go. That's better, isn't it?
Oh yes, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Look at that.
Okay.
He's even included my nipples, which is a sentence that doesn't make sense.
But also
I will explain the nipple. Yeah. No, I'm not going to show off my real nipples. That would be bad. Right. So let's talk about Moihager. So if you see on, sorry, go for it.
No. You go. You go.
Right, cool. So if you see on the just to the right of your cursor, there's a number of icons of different positions. The third one down is for fullbacks. So if you give that a little click, so next to the pizza chart,
yeah, and then we've got fullbacks.
You've got these icons. The third one down is fullbacks. So if we pop on that, we can see a little bit more about how he compares to other fullbacks. We can see, for example, that up in that kind of like between 12 and 1 o'clock, we've got the metric for expected assists, and he is in roughly the 90th percentile, 80th percentile even, 80th percentile there, which means he's really, really good. He's creating chances for you, which is brilliant. I think his 3 assists this season make him your second highest assister in the team, behind Ulmanen, who's doing everything. We can see that he wins possession in the 90th percentile there, 14.45 times. He's pressuring a reasonable amount. He's winning his tackles. He's winning his headers. Moihager is a quality player. I would expect that he might not be with you next season.
No, No, the second someone offers him a fiver, he's away. Like, we enjoy him
Indeed.
while he's here. Like,
But yeah, he's cracking. Like as a left back, you are. I think you've got a player there that is potentially one of the best in the league. So that's something you can really, really build around. You've got a player there that you know is able to create, is able to defend, do everything. So that's a really, really strong starting point.
I mean, if you're
Former
wondering just
Rochdale
how good,
player.
I was going to say, if you're wondering just how good he was, he did play. He didn't even make an appearance for Rochdale, but he was there. One appearance for San Etienne. So yeah, and 2 for Olympic Charleroi, and Ekanosh, who I believe will finish as well. So yeah, I'm expecting to lose him. And the sad thing is he'll go for free because he's amateur, which is fine. I'm not here for money, right? But yes, we'll enjoy him while he's here.
Yeah, I mean, is there prospects? I mean, I assume you've done some research into the team a little bit. Is it that you will be amateur forever, or is that part of their whole fan ownership thing? Or
It doesn't seem to be. I think that they seem to be, from what they're saying online, they're very much, it's the here and now. Like, they'll see what happens going forward. Jebaru's in. Jebaru's asking a question. Have we done a thing? Yes, Jebaru. I did it myself, and I think it's working. I think it's working. You should all follow Jebaru, by the way. He's the technical wizard who makes all this thing happen. Not just on my stream, but on the FM playoffs. He's one of the FMT guys. So yeah, drop him a follow as well. But yeah, I think Maheja, like, I'm not going to get a player as good as him on the right hand side, and I'm probably not going to get a player as good as him up front. So he's probably going to be the best player that we're going to have next season, I think.
Yeah, I have a feeling he is your star player, completely.
Yeah. So we have him for as long as we have him. Yeah. How much is the manager making? That's a good question, actually, Cass. How much am I actually earning? I am earning nothing. I'm here for the love of the game. I'm working for tips if anyone's around, so get those subs flying back in. So that's where we are. We're not making bank out in Finland. Thankfully, Finland's really cheap to live, so I've heard. So, other players we've got.
To be fair, useless Finland fact: they were the first developed country to remove homelessness, and in a positive way, not like in a like military way. Just to be clear.
I don't know how to solve this problem.
Architects. Genuinely though, the architects of the housing first policy, which other Scandinavian countries, funny enough, have adopted, and the rest of the Western world have ignored because they like homelessness. Sorry, let's get political at 9:30 on a Friday night.
Do it. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, Finland and Iceland definitely very high up on that agenda, aren't they? And yeah, Scandinavia doing things well. Shocker. So yeah. All right, Scandinavia, we see you. We see you, and we envy you a lot. Here's a player that I brought in, Abukar Mohammed, formerly of Lazio.
My word.
Didn't play for them, but has turned up for me. 2 goals in 11 matches. Good recent form. Lots of green in here. He's got a massive passing nipple, by the way, which you can see but you can't see behind Musterman's head. But how does the pizza charts compare to the players in the league? Asks Adley. Well, we're about to find out. I hope.
So, I can answer that. So with the pizza charts and all the skins, it's a static data set it's working against. So in the case of Mohammed here, 11.48 possession 1 is going to come up as being in the 80th percentile, regardless of which league he's playing in. However, the data set is being run across like literally hundreds of thousands of players. We've got a 99% confidence interval, 99% accuracy interval as well. So the way it works is, generally speaking, you will find that he should be around that area in the respective leagues. with the exception of maybe some of the like really, really lower leagues where everything is just chaos. But even then, you're playing against. If you're playing in a worse quality league, you might be worse, but also the players you're playing against are worse. So it kind of ends up tracking relatively, relatively similar, regardless of the league you're in. But yeah, Abubakar Mohammed is awesome. Look at him there, winning possession, winning his tackles, kind of winning headers. That's not too bad for like the percentage. 50% header win rate is not too bad for a defensive midfielder. He's dribbly, so he's really useful in terms of doing kind of like the box to box thing, carrying the ball, getting you out of pressure, moving you forwards. He scored a couple of goals, which again, compared to the rest of the squad, makes him one of your better strikers, even though he's a midfielder.
Yeah, a defensive midfielder at that. So he's getting the number 9 shirt next season. So yeah, we brought him in. So he's hopefully again someone we can build the team around, alongside Jere Hultinen, who again unsurprisingly was a free transfer, as they're all going to be. I'm going to click him on as defensive midfielders, but probably more. I mean, if we look at him from an attacking perspective, because he's a central midfielder on attack, really, in the system that we're playing with this 4-4-2. Yeah, he's got output, a goal and an assist.
He's, I mean, like he's really, really like going out there. You've got to diversify your skill set, right? Goals and assists. Crazy, crazy. In this economy. Yeah, I like Hiltonen. I think he's a decent player. If you compare him to defensive midfielders as well, because kind of like I know he's probably been playing as a central midfielder on attack, but he kind of has to do the defensive stuff as well. So comparing him to other defensive midfielders might be quite helpful as well there. So from that respect, you can see that he's not on the ball much. So his pass is completed, 32.11. He doesn't help much with build-up, which kind of goes to that idea of you saying that he's more of an attacking player. He wants to be higher up the pitch. He wants to be involved in the final third, where he doesn't do particularly well in terms of creating, but does get into shooting positions. So a decent player, possibly not quite at the level of Mahaja or Mohammed, I would say.
Is there, and the cult of's cringing at how few dribbles he's actually doing. There was going to answer the question I was going to ask next, which is there any scope for playing him out wide? Because if we don't have any wide players, and I've just clocked there, he can play midfield right. Could he go out wide? Could we train him to dribble the football and then find another central midfielder who could help Mohammed actually get forward, actually start adding some more creativity or maybe even just industry in there?
So there's always going to be a difficulty when looking at a statistical approach, because you can only judge players based on what they do. So there is absolutely, I imagine at this level he might not necessarily be particularly good at dribbling or crossing, but he might still be one of your better options for it. So it's difficult to say that there is anything in his statistical performance currently to suggest he'd do it. His dribbles at 0.39 per game is almost offensively low, even for a central midfielder. For a winger, you'd expect them to be even higher. His expected assists are very, very low, so you do question whether he is then able to cross. But let's head on over to his attributes. I mean, I haven't seen his attributes because I looked using my own skin there, and we do see that he's not the worst at dribbling. 9's pretty decent.
He's mentally decent. He's technically not very good, and I think that's something we're going to come up against as we go through this season. Given the fact we're amateur, we're going to have trade-offs at certain moments in time. I mean, Kultov saying play him as a winger on attack. We've got Righteous One on YouTube saying second striker-ish, which I think is like that first touch is real. Like for this level, a 10's fine, but these 15s, this decision making, this determination, composure, fitness, leadership. He's got some good attributes in some good areas, but he's not quite got enough to do other things.
obviously I'm not particularly good when it comes to attributes, but I see dribbling 9 as being quite good at this level as well. So the fact that he can dribble, that he can
Yeah.
pass, he's not too bad defensively. He can mark. He's
Bit of
only a
pace.
little bit worse off when it comes to things like tackling.
Mm-hmm.
Again, his acceleration and pace is perhaps a little on the slow side for a gallivanting winger.
Mm-hmm.
But then you don't need to be a gallivanting winner. You know, I reckon that David Beckham, I imagine that the Finnish second division David Beckham would end up having something like crossing 6. That's fine, right?
Yeah, I've just clicked on his positions, and I was wondering whether defensive winger would be something he could do, because I do love a defensive winger, and I do hope that eventually they call them pressing wingers. But I did wonder whether that was an option. The tackling's going to be a little bit suspect, possibly, but having him getting up higher, pressing the ball high on, and forcing errors might lead him to that wonderful 1 assist that he's managed to do and that 1 goal. So I don't want to take that attacking element out of him, but maybe, again, possibly something to consider. So, but again, that's going to depend upon who else we bring in as to where he goes, really, I suppose.
I think what we see with Hiltonen is we've got a player whose performance doesn't suggest he's going to dribble with the ball. That's the only thing that I would say is the biggest concern there. But he can contribute in multiple ways. So it looks like he can be played out wide, maybe in that more defensive capacity. He can tackle, so he can do some of the more defensive work in a central position. He can get forwards. He's getting into shooting positions with his, I think it's something like 1.45 shots per 90. So he is getting himself, so he can contribute in multiple different ways. He massively underperforms his XG. However, he's only had enough games to generate 1.77 XG. So, like, if he scored 1 goal, he was going to massively underperform. If he scored 2 goals, he was going to be overperforming by that point.
Yeah.
Very little leeway for overperformance there.
So maybe we see him over a longer period of time and see if those statistics balance around. I guess that's what the cult of saying there. See his stats at the end of next season, see what the difference might be, and just see where his natural fit is. Because again, he's played average, but I mean 6.8, 6.8, 6.5, 2 games in the 7s, 690 and a 680. I mean, he's not too dreadful in a team that's not playing well. A team that started to play decent towards the end of the season. He's come in and he's got 3 yellow cards as well, so he's not afraid to stamp his authority on the game as well. So we've got him, and then this is a guy who I think is, I think is our creative spark. I'm going to class him as attacking mids. Yeah, he's our winger, Yunus Rahimi. Now, this guy, he could potentially play up front, but I like him out wide.
Yunus Rahimi is phenomenal. Like 0.43 expected assists is an incredible amount. To the extent that you would question whether maybe it had been slightly over exaggerated by case of set pieces. So if he's your set piece taker, maybe you're creating more chances that way. However, I believe you've scored 3 goals from corners, 1 from an indirect free kick all season. So that's not necessarily as strength as it is anyway. So he is just genuinely really, really good for this level.
Yeah. And
He's
on the
not going to
left-hand
many
side,
shooting position.
so I was going to say on the left-hand side with, how do we pronounce his name again? Mehaja. That's a really strong left-hand side for this level.
I've got to ask one question though, actually, about that. Why do you play him on the left when he's right-footed as a winger?
Because I had a right-sided player before the season finished. I had a player called Palace, who I think we've spoken about previously, and he's now leaving. So, but yeah,
Of course he is.
Yeah. So we could move to the
when
right.
I looked at your tactic, when I looked at your tactic, I was like, right, this is a guy that looks like he can do a lot. Right-footed right winger, crossing it in for your big men. Like, he doesn't have to check back; he can just whip it in. But yeah, that makes sense when you've got. I think most of your wingers were all right-footed, so you were always going to have someone on the left who wasn't left-footed.
I think I was also drawn in as well by the initial, the placement of his positioning. I was like, oh, attacking midfielder left. I've gone straight for that as my visual, rather than going, oh, he can also play on the right. There's a question in the chat on YouTube from Eddie DeValvish. Can you approach every attributes as relative to the division? Well, you can change them, can't you? You can change the attributes to the different colour set. So if I've got blue as pretty decent in this league, I guess I could change that blue down to like 10 and say that that's really good for that league, or I could put it really higher if I'm in the Premiership and say like 14 is the minimum I want in that bracket, and then for my really good attributes I'm going to move that up to 18, so that's going to be a different colour. So essentially what you are doing is you're then looking at those attributes and just go, look, you can change them yourselves to what you think is appropriate for that league. Because yeah, you look at some of the scouts going, this is a 5-star player, and you're like, is he
I mean, to be fair, Rahimi is a 5-star player for you, surely. Look at that, 12s,
12s, and look at this, cuts inside from both wings. That's part of the reason that I was playing on the left. He's not against either side. Yes, he's very much a right-footed player, but he's also pretty good on his left as well. So, I mean, versatility in the Finnish second division. Don't mind if I do.
How long do you reckon you'll keep hold of him?
When does the season start? Because if he's still here at the start of the season, like if any of these players are still here at the start of the season, I'll be amazed. And that's what we've got. That's our contracted players. Well, contracted players. That's the players we've got. They're going to be here at the start of the season. Players that are coming through. Nico Huka, fine, I guess. Determination 17, aggression 14. Eilish Varish, good decision making as a midfielder, good determination, passing and vision, not brilliant, but for this level, not bad. He's 22. He's not really going to push on too much, is it?
I have to say, I do love the idea of players with really good technique, but not good at anything technically.
Yeah,
like he had 14 technique, but can't pass, control the ball, dribble, shoot, cross,
do a
take
thing.
penalties.
But if he could, he'd be brilliant at it. he's got the technique. He knows what he's going to do, but he just can't get that brain signal to his limbs to make it happen. I guess Noah Kaima is probably the only other player that might make a first team appearance. 18 years old, decision making's decent, work rate's good, jumping reach is good. Long shots, technique, tackling. I guess for this level, it's reasonable.
I think, yeah, he's pretty serviceable. You've got a centre-back as well, I think, in the reserves. I noticed that you... which one is it? I do have the thingy, what's it, open here.
And Bombo?
So in the reserves, it's Elias Kalkamo. Not in the youngsters.
Oh, the actual reserves. There you go, there's the reserves. Yeah, these are our other guys. So that's Varys there, but he's leaving. So we're losing someone who looks like he might have half decent potential. Kalkamo, yes.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily good per se, but he is a centre back, which you don't have any of at the moment. So
default. Yeah, up you come, Elias. Nico. Should we put Nico in there as well, just to make it look like we've got some players for now?
I think Nico looks reasonable, and Zanjar Abubakir scored quite a lot of goals for your reserves, I think. Well, 10
in 28, but how? That's a lot. That's a lot. Right.
So I mean, you do have some players who are still going to be around next year. Is it going to be another long season? Quite possibly.
Yeah, I think so. Again, Alexei Valman as well. Physically, very, very good. Technically, no. Not at all. Not at all. Not brilliant. Robert Rasmush, not really brilliant. But again, I'm looking at these players going, of course they're not going to be brilliant. They are what they are at the end of the day. So we'll just see what happens. What is the top team of Finland So the top team of Finland, what, are we talking the top team of Finland as in like Finnish Division 1? Because they're better than the top team of Finnish Division 2, that's for certain.
I just need to say to those that have come along for my screen, yes, that is Mariehamn who got relegated in the first season. It's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Really? Where am I looking? Where am I looking? They're here. Oh, there.
They lost the playoffs to TPS.
Right, okay.
But yeah, if you pop to the top division, so Mean Wolf, AC Oulu won the league.
Yeah,
HJK are probably the traditional
top
big team.
Inter Turku have come down as well, so that's worth looking out for. And Ives, who you're currently managing, have survived.
Well, no, so Ilves are my bogey team. They were the team that kept on beating us. But in my save they won the league the first season, top 3 every season thereafter. So it's kind of quite satisfying to see them be shit.
Yeah, but they do have a fantastic badge, so we've got to give them that. That creepy face
incredible.
is wonderful. So that's cool. Right, so okay, let's look then. Let's look at what we can do. So this is where we finish in our league. So third bottom, 23 points out of 22 games. I mean, 5 points takes you into the mid-table, so we're not hugely off our competitors, but we haven't got a team for next year. So let's take that with a pinch of salt. So if you were to start recruiting then, Jeff, where would you go? Would you look at how everyone else has performed in the rest of the league, or would you just go straight to the free transfers and go, it doesn't matter how everyone else has done because they're going to want money?
So, yeah, realistically, right, you can't buy any player who's under contract. The only players you're going to be able to sign are those also on amateur contracts at other teams, potentially.
Which is
and those whose contracts are expiring. Yeah. Now, you have a lot of players leaving on a free transfer. Not all of them have agreed transfers to other teams, as far as I'm aware, right? So they've just said, hey, we're leaving, we've had enough.
Yes, potentially. Let's have a look. So maybe Tukanainen, for example, is he leaving? He's just leaving on a free transfer for no reason. Oh, so you're potentially suggesting we can hold some players in here?
So yeah, I imagine you might need to wait until they've actually left. But maybe there are some who'll be able to come back, which could be useful if there are ones that you've liked. If Almanen, for example, doesn't get a new club, wouldn't that be incredible?
That would be great. That would be brilliant. Honestly, we just have him back and then nobody else. Don't need them. Just him. That'll be fine. I also like Rico Finas as well, who's a left back who's going to be leaving. And he's on his way out as well. So we could actually be overstacked for left backs. Look at this, 15 for crossing.
He looks awesome.
Yeah. He's very good, isn't he? So, yeah,
and it's quite nice having a Finnish player called Finas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes complete sense, doesn't it? It would be like a Scottish player called Scott. Makes sense. Why the change of skin, asks the wheel spin. So we change the skin so that we can do the pizza charts that Musterman is very, very good at explaining, and I don't fully understand. So we're having a look at that. So we're using a bit of data to try and work out who we can bring in and how we can do our recruitment. So yeah, we figured we'd change things up a tiny little bit, just for maybe just for tonight, maybe not. Maybe we keep this going forward. We don't know. We'll see what it looks like. So, right, are we hitting scouting? Are we just pulling up that free transfer list, or?
Yeah, I'll add a couple of things first. Can you go to the detail level? Preferences,
yes.
the FM menu.
Yeah.
Not preferences, that's my bad. It's underneath preferences. It's like 3 or 4 beneath it.
That one? Yeah.
Detail level here. Yeah. So, one thing to talk about just kind of generally when going for a data approach in FM is that detail level changes things. I don't know the exact circumstances behind it. I'm not going to put the Koltov on the spot if he's in chat either. But essentially, there are different match engines for calculating things at different levels of detail.
Mm.
The league you're in is always at full detail.
Mm-hmm.
The other leagues that you've got there aren't in full detail. So the statistical performance that's going to come out, it's not going to be necessarily easy to compare the two. So you're going to struggle to compare players to your own players. But, for example, every player in Australia you can compare to every player in Bulgaria and Canada and Croatia because they're all on the same detail level.
Right, okay.
So that does kind of just change the way we end up looking at data for this. So players in the same division as you, so in the Ikonen, you can compare to your own players. You can compare them to each other. You can't compare them to whoever's playing in Serbia.
Right.
Or not accurately. So that's just something to be mindful of. So I did a little bit of pre-work before this stream. I'm going to send you something across over in Discord.
Okay.
Which is a lovely little shortlist. If it will let me send. There we go. We've sent there.
Look at this. You know what? You've done more work on this save than I have, and it's my save. This is genuine. I love this.
So, just for some context, all this list is players whose contracts might expire in about 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
Who would be interested in joining you.
Awesome. Where's shortlist? Do I have to make a folder for shortlist, do I? Or does it go under...
I think so, yeah. You'd need a Football Manager 24 / shortlists folder, lowercase s.
Yeah. Cool, okay. Let's drag you into there. And then if
so very specifically around these is they've also played at least some games, so you can see their statistical performance.
Yeah,
the
lovely.
Good news, the really, really good news here is that the shortlist is very short. So we can look through every player on an individual basis. The bad news is this list is very, very short.
Okay, I've got all right, I can see where the problem's going to come here now. Right, so this is it then. This is this is literally it. Okay.
So this was literally it. This was I extended your scouting range to all of Finland. I waited to see what players were out of contract come the 15th of November, which of them would be interested in joining you, and which of then took them back to where we start the save here to see which players were actually playing. Because if we wait until they've been released, they won't be a club anymore, so there won't be any statistical data to judge by.
Right, okay. Yeah. Is that the Daniel Rockman? That's the question that's coming in from Ladislav.
It is the Daniel Rockman Ladislav. And I mean, he was never really that great for us. He was a dependable backup. So Daniel Rockman is a player that we signed at the end of the first season in the IFK Mariehamn save. And he was like a dependable backup at Vikers Liga level. That said, he's been truly wank for Inter Turku. I mean, he doesn't create, he doesn't score.
But this is a team that got relegated and finished bottom of the league, so he's going to be struggling in a bad team. Now, does that mean he might be slightly better in a lower to mid-level team in the second division if we can let the shackles off a little bit?
Exactly. And I think we might be applying this logic to almost every player in this list because of the desperate need for players as well. Like, it doesn't matter if the only thing he's ever done is fall over and cry in a puddle by the corner flag. Maybe, just maybe, a new environment will make him feel better.
Exactly. We've all done it. The question is just, can we do it consistently? You know, speaking of people who can do it consistently, I need to shout out the United City FM has just joined the chat, as has FM Llama. And again, if you're not following those two legends, what are you doing with your lives? Because genuinely, they need your love because they know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? They know what they're doing. And also, Rich Sun is in, confirming that Sunderland are 2-1 up against Sheffield Wednesday. We go marching on. Up we go. So the TJ and
Tony.
Rich Owens derby has been won by Sunderland. Yes,
Can you look up Till Winkleman? That's
yes.
Till space.
Winkleman. That's Claudia's relation, right? No, apparently not.
Indeed.
Apparently not. Apparently not. We haven't got. Have we got Lecce? Lecce. Maybe we haven't got them. Got them loaded in fully.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Genuinely, if you haven't watched FM Llama streams, you've got to. At the very least, watch today's. Go back and watch it on the VOD. Oh, without a doubt, the greatest stream I have ever watched. I do apologise, Tony, to come on your stream and say, hey, by the way, someone else is the best stream I've ever watched.
But they are, though. They are so much better than I am. So you know what I mean. No Winklemans on my watch, I'm afraid. But yeah, go and check it out. No spoilers, but go and check it out. I saw it on Twitter and I was like, this is good. This is good. Rich, the stream shouldn't be too blurry. We fixed it a little while ago. You might want to refresh on your cache. Because we're co-streaming, Twitch loves this to try and get two streamers streaming at once, but it hasn't fully thought out how it works properly. So let me quickly just rejig the quality again. And again, if anyone needs to
also
let us know.
I would say, depending on where you are on as well, Rich. So if you're on my stream, as it comes through the stream together interface, it seems to be quite blurry on my end. So I recommend heading over to Tony's channel. You should, if you are on my channel, he is tagged in the title. So just give that a click.
There you go. Yeah. I was say Rich is normally one of ours, so get back over here, Rich. Come on. Don't go hang out. Do hang out in Mustermans as well, by the way. So right, here's what we got then. Let's have a quick little nosy on, shall we? I mean, I'm already looking at the fact that Mido is 36. That's
experience.
That's
experience. Leadership.
Yeah.
That is hardiness.
That
is endurance. That's longevity.
The question is he still going to be playing at the start of the season? Because he's got a couple of weeks to live. I mean, this passing nipple's massive, by the way.
That's because Mido is clearly the answer. He's very, very involved. He passes accurately. If you look at him there, he's really, really shit at winning tackles. 60% tackle win rate is awful.
Yeah.
He's not that active in pressuring, kind of wins possession. He's a bit crap. I mean, that's probably the biggest issue there.
Yeah.
But he also almost shares a name with the greatest Egyptian striker ever.
Yeah, exactly. Amir Jackie. No, Mido. That's right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's already played for Bolton as well, which is fantastic. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I have suggested, Rogie, that it does sound like I'm about to kill him. I'm not going to do that at all. And as has been pointed out, one name means he must be good. It's true. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you've got multicoloured football boots at Sunday League, you've got to be good. You've got to be good. You can't turn up with multicoloured boots and not be able to do things, because otherwise, you're drawing attention to yourself for all the wrong reasons.
But also, he's Sierra Leonean. Like a Sierra Leonean in Finland, that must be good. In the same way that Didier Six and Darius Kubicki were good. By virtue of not being English back in the 90s.
Exactly. You show me, what was it? Stefan Washika, I think it was, possibly. He was good. Thomas Rudzinski was brilliant just by the fact that he was there. There was so many wonderful players that were there just because they were there. I mean, we've already spoken about Fabio Ferraresi, didn't we, this week? So,
I still love Fabio Ferraresi. I genuinely cannot express how excited I was by his signing as a 9-year-old Villa fan at the time.
Yeah.
I would hold. I wouldn't even get them in on trial. Their contract is literally going to expire in 2 weeks.
In 2 clicks. Yeah.
So I'd be waiting until they come then. But it doesn't. No need to
Okay,
withdraw it either.
That's
That's
fine.
all we can.
It's fine. Fine. Don't. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. United City's asked TJ, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is Musterman playing a different version of FM to the rest of us? It's not even a scale of 1 to 10, Kev. To be honest, this is like he's playing a different game completely. I mean, I love it, and I'm so desperate to learn it. This is the best way for me to do it, by having him sitting in the stream and talking it through and going, this is what we're looking for, this is how we look for it. We've not even worked out how we look for this information yet. He's just told me what we're looking for right now. And then I've got to try and go like, okay, where do I find this piece of information? So yeah, we're learning tonight.
I actually think that might be a typo by Kev there. I don't think it was a scale of 1 to 10. I think it's the scale of minus 110, because it is just the dumbest way to play the game. Let's be honest. I
don't know. I think this is a good idea. 37-year-old Irfan Zanelli. Again,
it's a good name.
It's experience, isn't it? Irfan Zanelli. Yeah, I mean, look at this. He's been at HJK Helsinki for a lot of his career.
For a long time. And then he's travelled as well. Spent a little bit of time in Kazakhstan. He's a man of culture.
Yeah. And then come back to Finland and basically just played for every team in Finland. For the fans call him Gino Zanelli. Right, we're signing him for that. For that alone, Llama. That's what it is. 100%. Right, Irfan, get in the bus, mate. Come on. And a 37-year-old goalkeeper.
Now,
Zino Zanelli.
Beautiful, isn't it? You've got to have Zino Zanelli.
Mm-hmm. Right, Lassie Hurskainen, 37-year-old goalkeeper. Possession lost, nothing. Doesn't lose possession apparently.
So pop on over to click on the little goalkeeper icon for the pizza chart, because there is a different set of metrics there.
Yeah.
That said, right, okay, so this is a player who's in a... Tom. Tut. TCS is better than this. He hasn't changed the background to the chart, so it looks a bit weird. I'm going to give him grief after tonight.
This might not be the most up-to-date skin, by the way, the most up-to-date version, so, let's not go fully... hellbent just yet.
Oh no, I just like winding him up. It's all good.
Oh yeah, do that as well. Yeah.
So this is where we're going to see that certain players in lower leagues, not in full detail, might not have a full picture of their stats. So apparently this goalkeeper has made 0 saves and has never won possession at any point during the course of the season, despite playing 28 games.
I mean, he has conceded 46 goals, so that does also stack up that he hasn't made a save.
So you're going to be in a little bit blind with some of the statistical information we're going to get with some of these players. So I think Poxit are in the Karkinen, which is the 3rd division.
Right, okay.
Possibly. So you've got the Vikings Liga, which is the
sexy
top.
Poxit, actually.
Sexy Poxit.
Stupid sexy Poxit.
Dynamo.
Otto Brusin. Oh, right. I don't know if I think I prefer him, actually.
I need to find out if sexy actually translates as anything else, or whether it is just they are sexy.
That's 100%. Sexy football, sexy Poxit. Got to be. Former HIFK player, Otto Brusin, and he's going to leave as well. On a free. Is he already on the shortlist? He must be. He must be, surely.
He wasn't. I don't think he came up in your search. Now, okay, you've already agreed a deal to sign a player, haven't you? I think you've got one player on coming in at some point.
Don't know if I have or whether the game had organised it already.
Right. Okay.
Carly Connonen. May well be me, but...
So one of the things whilst I was looking around is I noticed that there were some players you could approach to sign, but they wouldn't join for another 18 months.
Right, okay. Interesting.
I don't know why that is. So that is something to be aware of when going into any kind of deals with anyone, is that they will actually come this year.
Yeah. Jimmy Hackspick's from us, actually.
Ah.
Okay. And Saarinen, is he one of ours as well? No, he's not. He's from Hacker. Sorry, I'm just free clicking at this point.
I mean, what I would be mindful of is obviously there are a number of players here that have played badly in a team in a division below you.
Yeah.
I don't think we can probably spin that the same way that we could from players in a division above.
Yeah.
Well, we could. A change of environment, maybe.
But desperate times might call for desperate measures.
Indeed. And I think ultimately what we want to do is we want to more just look at their stats to know how we might use them. It's not a case of are there stats for us to make a decision as to whether we're signing them. We're signing everyone. Every single player that we can possibly sign, we might as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Lama says, Hacker are a team of innocent men, just normal men. Speaking of men, Prince Makuma, Prince amongst men, and this guy looks good.
He doesn't look too bad. By
ball.
comparison,
yeah,
he wins the ball, which is great. He loses the ball a lot. He loses the ball the same amount as he wins it. So he's currently at a net of 0.
Does he win it back though? Do you reckon? He's sort of like, oh, that was mine. Sorry, my mistake. Goes back, gets it again, and away he goes.
Indeed, but he's creative. 0.16 XA. He is creating chances from a central position. So you kind of accept him losing the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, football is a game of risk. Well, depends on who you watch. I mean, Man City arguably are in the position they have because they struggle to take risks. But he loses the ball because he's trying to do things to create chances. So that's kind of okay.
Yeah, because I've just moved him up from defensive midfielders now to attacking midfielders, and it does look different, doesn't it? His progressive passes go higher, his pass completion goes higher. Does it? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. So
players
who play in that. Players that play in that attacking midfield position are already quite high up the pitch, so they can't play as many progressive passes. There's just literally not enough of the pitch left. So when you compare his numbers to attacking midfielders, they will change depending on the position where you are on the pitch. Attacking midfielders tend to see less of the ball per game, so again, passes completed will seem higher. But the expectation is they would be more creative, score more goals, and so that's why you see the inverse happening with the Blues.
Right. Okay. But he could sit next to Mohamed quite happily, couldn't he? And the pair of them could just like 100%. Run around after the ball and try and get the end of it.
One thing to talk about here is if we can see that his passes completed, that looks quite low. That's not an issue. If you're in a team that doesn't have much of the ball, you're not going to complete many passes. That's fine. What we can see though is that the slice for progressive passes is higher than the slice for passes completed. So proportionately, he is attempting a high amount of progressive passes compared to the number of opportunities he gets. So he'd be a great player to play alongside someone like Mohamed. Mohamed can do all the mopping up, pass it to Prince. Prince can then help you get into the final third.
Excellent. And of course, this also as well is interesting. If my defenders aren't kicking the ball far enough, then if they drop into midfield, he can just kick it on a bit further as well. Like, which is it's great. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be having the ball too long. Let's be honest.
Table football. Exactly. Your defenders just spin, send the ball up the pitch, comes all the way back down.
I think that literally is it. Yeah, it's not too dissimilar to how we play, actually, to be honest. Verneri Mirilainen, I think, again, as a fullback, as a right back, and we haven't got a right back, we have a left back. I mean, again, 3 assists, 1 goal, centre forward numbers. That must have been.
I mean, probably more of to put it politely, more of a centre forward than he is a right back. So, what I look at when I see this here is he does. What's the best way to put it? Is when you're defending, generally there are 2 ways that you approach defending, right? Either you run around after the ball, or you hold your position and you look to wait until the opposition makes a mistake. You intercept it, you clear and stuff. So Merilainen wins possession. Possession 1, he sweeps up. He doesn't pressure. So you're looking at someone who's a bit more defensive. Now, I don't know. Maybe if you had a formation that used, say, a wing back on defend on the right, maybe he'd be a good fit. That is to say, I believe that your formation does have a wing back on defend on the right.
Yes, it does. I've just checked that. I was like, oh, it'd be interesting. Maybe I could play a wing back on the right. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. So the United City just put, who needs a right back when you've got a left back? It's obvious, really. Yeah, Kev, our left back is like Roberto Carlos in Finland, so we don't really need to have a player on the other side of the pitch. Like, just everything goes down the left. He's got decent nipple size for heading and passing, which I like for fullbacks. To be honest, I like my fullbacks to be able to head the ball, because too often I can see goals at the back post. So I like my fullbacks to be able to head. And again, wins possession and wins his headers.
Can he play a centre back? Because his header win rate is pretty decent. He can't.
He's 5'10".
But 5'10" with a minimum jumping reach of 10.
Yeah,
we might need to be a centre back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's Finnish Franco Baresi. Okay, so he's an option. Islam Kastrati, Kosovan. No, I thought this was a different lad. Again, very good passing, midfielder, central. Oh, look at that. Again, is he an attacker or is he a defender? I mean, 4 goals. He's 4 goals. Whoa. Look at this.
He's an attacker for you, that's for sure. So, I mean, looking at the number of passes he completed, I'm guessing he probably played deeper. So,
like a playmaker?
That looks like quite possibly, indeed, a playmaker type of player, indeed. Yeah, I mean, 4 goals from midfield is absolutely incredible. Sorry, let me just say, by the way, Brazilian Fury, thank you very much for the raid, my dude. How was the stream? Welcome in, my dude. Yeah, so, like, your current setup has a central midfielder on attack. So a midfielder who can get forward and score goals, that sounds nice.
It's this guy. It's this guy right here, isn't it? It could be. We'll have to see. Should say as well, by the way, Jason Thomas on YouTube has said, Mido, let's go back to Mido, by the way, for a second. Mido also chucked scissors at Zlatan when they were at Ajax, so also a nutter. Get him in. If you're chucking scissors at Zlatan...
That surely got to be the Egyptian Mido, though, right?
Yeah, not
he was
our
at Ajax.
Sierra Leone.
Can we sign Mido? Is he in the game? Can he be a coach?
Possibly. Oh, I tell you what, speaking of people who are coaches, that's 32-year-old Senegalese Mido. That's not the right one. There he is. 41-year-old Egyptian Mido. Manager.
Best Mido.
No, he's got no interest. Can we get Morten Gamge Pedersen? Good shout.
Does he want to be paid? Is that his issue?
Oh, look at £750 a week. Who is he? Messi? But he's leaving on a free.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Oh, what about that? Footballista, welcome in. Appreciate the follow there, my friend. Yeah, okay, right. Castratis are possible as well. Then I like the look of that. Let's got Rupa Pakkanen. That's
He's
centre back.
Centre back. Right. So the first thing I'd look at with centre backs is their tackle win rate and their header win rate. So percentages are always far more important to me than raw numbers. Obviously, again, we talked about if you play for a team that doesn't have much possession, you don't have many opportunities to do things with the ball. If you play for a team that has a lot of possession, you don't have much opportunity to do defensive things.
Yeah.
So percentages can be really helpful. And Pakkanen is brilliant at winning tackles. We won't talk about headers. That is not good in the air, which is something to be mindful of. How tall is he?
6'2", but he's got a jumping reach of a max jump reach of 12, but a minimum jump reach of 6. So, but his heading again only maxes out at 10. Okay, we might have to look at that. Where did TPS? Where did they finish? Sorry, I'm just jumping around again.
They got promoted.
Right. Okay. So he was actually playing. How many games did he play in a team that was getting promoted?
It's only something like 4 starts.
4 games, right?
Yeah, 4 starts, 6 subs.
So actually, he might be pretty decent for us if he's not getting in their team. He could walk into our team, literally with his pace of 4 to 9. That's what he will be walking. He won't be running into our team.
Let's be realistic. You're probably going to try and sign him regardless. Things like being able to win headers that I don't think generally tends to improve as you change through the division significantly enough. So I expect he'd still be a liability for you. Yeah. But there are ways of mitigating that, right? So maybe he becomes a fullback for you. You know, somebody who's bad at defending centrally might still be good enough defending out wide to deal with those back post crosses that you had issues with. Maybe he gets pushed into midfield. Maybe you play with a back 3. You know, there are other ways that he could be accommodated potentially. But if he's meant to be your best centre back, he could be a liability.
Okay, that works. That's fine. I can do with that. Leo Usher, defensive midfielder, playing in the 3rd division league.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, you know, morally, are we buying a player called Usher right now? I mean, what problems are going to come if we do? Can we sign a player called Little John as well to play alongside him? That would be.
Oh God, yes. There's got to be at least one Finnish John out there who is short.
Little Jan.
I was going Junus Tuami. How tall is Junus Tuami on that list?
He is 5'10", so he's an average height man.
Average John doesn't quite work, does it?
No, it's just called John at that point, isn't he? Also, as well, look at this output here.
Yeah, he's wank.
yeah, but we're still going to try and sign him. But he's playing for Lati though, and they're in the top division, aren't they? Yes, they are. Yeah.
And they're in their European qualification potentially.
Oh, right. Yeah, in that case, yeah, he's obviously very good. He's very good. He's very bad in their team, but very good in ours.
Isn't that how like Wayne Rooney got the Plymouth job? They're like, yeah, okay, so all the evidence suggests that he's a really, really, really bad manager, but he once played for Man United, so we'll ignore all that.
I mean, I think there's a few managers who fall in that category, isn't there? You know, to be fair, most managers probably. Christian Lina is an interesting one, because he can play through the spine, central midfield, central defence, defensive mid. Are we presuming centre back? 3 goals, 26 matches, could be a centre back, 6 foot. I mean, let's see. You can play a bit higher, but
first thing to say about Christian Luna is we can see from these stats that we can ignore all of them.
Yeah.
There isn't a single player in the world that has only lost possession 0.39 a game and only won possession 0.96. So that's going to be part of the issue with the detail level.
Oh, and again, he's a third divisioner.
We can kind of disregard the statistical point of view, and it's just going to be a case of get him in, see how he performs. And we'll, it's probably going to be a case of assessing during pre-season, first handful of games during the course of a season.
Yeah, fair. Vigo Bloomer, named after one of my favourite types of bread. Let's have a look at him. Again, winning possession pretty well. Gets the ball forward, progressive passes, good. Headers, average headers, is that? Or is that below average?
That's below average. I would say for like defensive midfielders and fullbacks, you probably want to see around 60% header win rate. You'd want that to be closer to 70% for a centre-back. Obviously, at this level, maybe a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But not massively lower. So if you've got concerns about conceding far post crosses, he might be scary. But also, yes, we have our left-back, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Mahija is our man. We're going to need backups. And backups are meant to be worse than the... Well, they're not... Backups, that you don't want your backups to be worse than starters, but ostensibly by being backups, they are worse than starters.
Yeah, exactly. Right, we're going to sign players just based on cool names. I mean, if you've got a player called Bakary Traore, there's a chance he's going to be awful, but you're sucked in by the name thinking this guy's going to be great, clearly. Because every football club signs at least one Traore, and I think every fan base goes, ooh, a Traore. And very rarely does a Traore ever come out correct.
I'm a little worried about the club name.
Reapers.
Do we want to sign players from Rapers?
I'm going to call them Reapers, as in they the Grims possibly.
Well, yeah, let's go with that.
That works. And also he's 6'2", so let's just look at that and go, right, that's fine. Right.
Cool, he's your new striker.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what he can actually do in that regards.
He scored a goal, so that's also fine. Emir Sucker, who, let's face it, if he does anything very good, we're going to have to shout, can you handle that sucker? In a Booker T style. Or can you dig it, sucker?
Can you dig it, sucker? Playing for sexy.
For sexy box it. Yeah. He's a sexy sucker. Yeah, mother sucker.
He's got to be signed on name alone.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, Reza Haidari. Hello, Reza Haidari. You look like you've played football before.
Yeah. I'd go defensive midfielder on him.
Does he know what he's doing? Mate, this could be... There's no way he's going to come to our football club, surely.
He's winning his tackles. He's winning possession. He's not maybe as good as he looked initially, but he's a former player. Backup for Mohamed.
Yeah. There we are. I mean...
Sorry.
No, go for it. Look, I think it looks like we've got a team here.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, what I was going to say is, it looks like so far we've got, there are players there. There are players that we can sign who have some statistical stuff we can work out against. It looks like we've got players that could potentially play at centre back. We've got some options at full back, maybe as backups. We've got some backup options on the wings. What we don't have in that list is strikers.
Yeah.
Well, goal of the season.
Yeah,
for Rahimi.
For Rahimi, do you want to see it?
Damn right, I do.
This isn't it, is it? Next match, please. Thank you. Not this one either. This is not... Oh, we should have really watched them all, shouldn't we? But, we're only here for hours. So, yeah, here we are. Here's Rahimi on the left-hand side. Picks the ball up here.
Against Nistan as well. Oh.
It drives forward.
Have it.
Yeah.
Sexy. So sexy he could play for Sexy Pants.
Could do. Sexy Pants is the English translation, so we're in. Maybe we leave HIFK and go and join Sexy Poxit.
It's the second name on that is incredible as well. Can we sign Riku Risky? That's a wrestler name if ever I heard one. I know nothing about wrestling.
I think he's part of the bloodline, isn't he? Riku Risky? Is he not Roman Reigns' uncle or something? That's Rikishi. He formerly plays for Rosenborg and Dundee United and Odds Ball Club. I mean, this is 35 years old. Oh, he's on a contract till next year, and he wants money. But 10 goals, 5 assists. Wow. Question from United City. Musterman, how long ago did you decide you needed to dive into data more than the average player, and how complicated was it to do before you created a skin to help do it?
Good question, Kev. So I think I am blaming The Athletic. I'm blaming JJ Bull and his sexy Scottish voice. I think that certainly when Tifo started doing their stuff and that kind of started getting recommended, that diving more into the metric side of things was really interesting. Obviously, as someone who likes American sports, I say obviously, you should know that about me just randomly. Hey, this random man's on Tony's channel. You should definitely know what his interests are.
Everyone had to fill a questionnaire beforehand.
Yeah. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Cleveland Browns were taken. They hired one of the key guys behind the whole Moneyball approach in baseball. So I kind of got a bit of an interest that way. So generally speaking, it was just kind of a case of trying to apply some of those elements. A couple of years ago, the data hub was added, which is brilliant. We started getting more advanced metrics in FM that we could start drilling down into. And that was kind of the starting point. In terms of how much more complicated was it to do before I created a skin, I did spend about 1,000 hours making the skin as soon as I was able to. So there was a protracted period where I wasn't playing any FM at all. I was desperate to find a way to get pizza charts into FM. Before that, it was a lot more basic, and we were just looking at exporting into spreadsheets. And that's pretty standard. People do that quite a lot. And it's not necessarily complicated, just a bit boring.
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue when it comes to all this sort of stuff, and I love the idea of learning it, and we've spoken a lot about getting me involved in it and trying to sort of understand it. And I just figured now that we've got so much time between now and whatever comes next, I just figured now's the right time to just get involved. So I might as well try and learn it now. See if it's something I can pick up on. See if it's something that can be used in my saves going forward. And if it is, then great. How can we implement that? As Lama says, TJ and I haven't got a clue. Shocker. He's so right.
I think it's it's quite an interesting thing to explore, but it is one of those things that you kind of just need to do. The first few months of even trying the approach is going to feel like banging your head against a brick wall. You're probably going to give up. You're probably going to go, actually, I'll stick with... That's not a reflection on you, by the way. I mean, just generally, the royal we, the royal you are going to give up. You're going to give it a try. You're going to not really know what's going on. You're going to go, actually, I'll leave that. I'll come back to it 3 months later. And then kind of see it through. But I think that once we start bringing players in, once we start, we've got a little bit of a thought about how those players could be used. We'll have a look at some of the players that we're going to bring in via more traditional methods, e.g., fuck it, will they sign for us? Let's take them. And see how that all comes together. And I think then it starts to, once you kind of see the fruits of your labour, it kind of falls into place a bit.
Yeah, and I think that's the bit I'm looking forward to, is seeing for me, I think the bit I'm looking forward to most is that first player that I sign based off statistical data, and I go, that was the right player. That was the right player. He fits perfectly in the squad, and things make sense. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
So this is probably the point that I say. How do I put this? So at the end of the first season, going into this, my second season in Finland, granted we started in the top division, our best signing, in my opinion, was a guy named Boris Fart Tuna. That is fart and tuna.
I mean, you had me at Boris, but the surname's even better.
Now, the reason we signed him was because his name was Boris Fortuna. He was a Russian winger recommended by our director of football. We had no scouting information on him at all. It was out of season, so we had no performance data to go on. At this level, ultimately, I would consider my best signing to be a guy that was just a case of, fuck it, he's called Fart Tuna.
Just while you've
just
been...
to temper expectations after 2 hours.
Well, I mean, we say that. I mean, what I've done is I've now gone into my little recruitment focus and my scouts just while we're talking, just to see what, you know, the people who are working at the club have been thinking about. Karl Madianja, a 30-year-old French midfielder, formerly of Dundee. I mean, he looks like...
Why are all these Finnish players ending up in Dundee?
I mean, he looks like, for us, at our level, this is like Zinedine Zidane turning up. Like, I mean, let's get you... I'm going to get you on a trial, just seriously, just for a trial, but you need to just come and live here, really. Ellis Seppänen, again, you're free.
Bless you, Brazilian Fury, by the way. Thank you very much. Yes, if this all goes to pot, guys, head on over to Brazilian Fury's YouTube channel, where this approach actually worked, thank God.
Yeah.
I am going to be using you, Chris, as the social proof for this approach for like the next 10 years.
Yeah, 100%. And if this sort of thing does work more, then we'll definitely do more of it. We'll get you in every season to be like, right, come on, it's transfer window time. This kid here, Jusha Tooley, I mean, £10 a week. He's on big money. One for the future, maybe. Look at that acceleration. Look at this. Whoa.
Natural fitness. He can play every game.
Yeah, I mean, he's not any good, but he can certainly turn up every single week. He can pay subs. Right, okay. So I'm just going to nudge on just a tiny bit to see if there's anything that can tick through. So Ditz didn't want to come and hang out on trial. That's fine, not a problem.
Show us your dits. It's a thing I would never say ever. Sorry.
No, we wouldn't. Someone has asked a skinny based... I don't know if you spotted it, but someone has asked, is skinning based on HTML? Oh, do we know that answer?
I apologise, FK, so I did miss that. No, but it's a similar type of language. It's XML, so it's a markup language. It's not really coding. You are working with the code and the tools that are provided by SI and Football Manager, and you are essentially reworking layouts. So yeah, it's a markup language similar to HTML, but you can edit it very easily in Notepad.
I've just put a bid in for Carl Mandianga, and he doesn't want any money. So I think we're gonna sign him, and that's me not using any stats and data at all. That's me going, oh, he's French. He might be good.
He had a high attribute. It doesn't even matter what. I mean, tackling's a useful one, but it doesn't matter what the attribute is. As long as it's high, get him in.
Exactly.
Oh, you've got to get head.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Frederick Heed. Heed. Yeah, a 16-year-old goalkeeper. We needed a keeper. And it was literally like, does anybody want to play for us? A Swiss goalkeeper as well. Because we haven't got any of those. You know what I mean?
Remember, obviously, in a 2 weeks' time, when that restricted transfer window opens, you're probably going to get a lot more players interested in joining as well. So you're going to have players whose contracts are expiring, who weren't interested, but now don't have a job.
Yeah, and all of a sudden really love the idea of coming to HIFK. Yeah. Lama says, when using a data approach to signings, it's fine to still sign players based on their hair. 100%. 100%. Like, all things have to be considered, right?
Hair, names, whether they've played for a funny named club before, sound alikes to really good players, but just slightly wrong.
Yeah.
Legends of the game, like, just if you are Morten Gamps Pedersen, you should be signed in every save by every team. But yeah, hair is up there.
Yeah.
Literally.
I like it. Right, job security is stable. It's talking hair. Oh, look at this guy. Oof.
Proper perm. And let us have our massive fan is right. Dribbly boys. If a player dribbles like crazy, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he can do anything else. Dribbly boys are the best types of boys.
Yeah, cool, excellent. Or tall boys, massive lads is what we can do with. Right, am I just nudging on until the transfer window opens up? Then is that what I'm going to do at this point? Shall we?
I would recommend so.
Madianga's come in.
And yeah, that's in 2023. Beautiful.
Get in. Come on, Carl. In you come. Right, so we've got Carl and we've got Mohammed in the midfield now. So we have two players. Do you want to know what my transfer transfer policy was prior to tonight's stream? It was quite simply sell idiots, buy better players, win more games. So
it's a solid plan.
Yeah.
It's a solid plan, only ruined by having no budget.
And also all the players leaving before I could have a chance to sell them. So we're just like, oh, okay. Do you want to get him to join on trial for... No, we don't need him there for the... Come on, look,
6 days.
Look
10 days.
Look at this. First
Sexy.
touch, 12. Tackling, 12. Agility, pace, strength. Oh. To knock players off the ball. Brilliant. Love this. Right.
I think your midfield is looking really set. Mohammed and Madianga. That's a proper, like... That's quite a defensive midfield pairing. But...
Yeah.
Like, you've got Moynager bombing down the left. You can have Rahimi cutting in from the left. He likes to cut inside.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a normal right winger. You've got... hopefully at some point we'll find some big men up top. So you've got your 5 attacking players. That should work really nicely.
Yeah. Oh, I should say as well, we've got this guy. When's his loan run out? I think it runs out soon, actually.
December.
Yeah, Tiquinho, a Brazilian pressing forward. Because, you need at least one Brazilian Finland, right? Surely. So, yeah, okay, yeah. We're looking fairly tough in midfield, which I like. I mentioned, I got myself slightly interrupted actually, but I mentioned about older players when we were talking about Mido. I have signed in another save that I've got going offline, which I'm I don't know if I'm going to be continuing, but I feel as though I probably should. I spoke to United City about this one. I've sort of returned back to Blind Spartans for a little bit because of obviously the situation they're in real life. My backroom staff may have Julian Dix in it.
Yes.
Yeah, so Julian Dix might be a coach at Blind Spartans.
Incredible.
Oh, he's not here on this one, but yeah. And you know what? He doesn't actually look that bad. He looks decent. Like, for that level, he's got some pretty good attributes. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Julian Dix is coming in. Here we go. Current Haybridge Swifts manager. Is that right, Cass? Wow, okay. I wouldn't have even considered that he'd be an actual manager, but maybe. That's fantastic. 18-year-old goalkeeper, 6'5", can handle. That's all we know. Has some potential.
I mean, again, what's the harm in bringing everyone in? Talking about old people, though, you do have a 42-year-old advanced playmaker in your reserve team.
Oh, do I? Went in you come then, my friend.
He's injured at the moment for like 4 weeks. He's also maybe staff.
In my where? Sorry, in my reserves.
In your reserves, yeah.
Oh,
the second team.
Otto Jan, yes. Yeah, I remember about him. I put him into the reserves because of his injury. He'd been out for ages.
Out of interest, I noticed you don't have a face pack. Does that mean you don't have the face for Matthias Hanninen? Because Matthias Hanninen has a face that is worth looking at.
Oh really? I've got the internet. I've just got Matthias.
I mean, I say it's worth looking at. I mean, Matthias Hanninen just looks like he belongs in an early 90s, like, new metal band. It's glorious. There is something so remarkably Finnish about his appearance.
Let me just double check. Matthias Hanninen. How do I spell Hannon? Let me go look. Hanninen.
There we go. Yeah, Hanninen.
Oh yes, he definitely looks like he looks like he's part of the Rasmus.
Exactly. Although, you know, you'd genuinely be scared if you found him in the shadows. That's a Rasmus joke.
Yay. Yeah, if anyone was unsure as how many Rasmus jokes there'd be tonight, this is the first one, not necessarily the last one. Let me quickly pull that on there. There you go. There he is. There he is. I mean, he looks delighted to be the seal of approval, the kiss from a rose.
Have they given him a rose to mark his contract extension? They're just like, we can't give you money. Here's a rose.
I think so. And he was like, "Oh, is that what we're doing here?" Going, yeah. I got that from a garage, mate. It's good. He enjoys playing as fullback. I mean, does he enjoy playing as fullback, or is he the fullback?
He's too shit to play anywhere else, and he's made peace with that.
Yeah, exactly. He's played 200 games. He got a rose. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I'm afraid. Where is he then? Is he one of ours?
He's in yours. He's leaving on a free transfer.
33-year-old. Oh well. Have I made a note for him to stay? No, I haven't. No. 200 games. Do we? Maybe we do need to try and keep him. See, this is what happens. I start to get like all sort of like. I'll put a note down.
There's place for sentiment. There's 100% place for sentiment, especially when they're doing it for free.
Yeah, there is that. The kiss from a rose sealed the contract signing. See, Lama actually got the joke I was trying to get. I couldn't do it. Lama nailed it perfectly. Well played, Lama. Well played. Okay, So let's keep nudging on then. We want this transfer window to open up. And then, and then the fun begins. Fortnightly staff meeting, not fussed about that. Well, they're going to tell us stuff we already know. Oh, look at this.
Ooh.
Talent. Talent.
Oh, these are all starters, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. At the minute, because they're part of the club. We've got that few players in the squad that anybody is going to play. So here's Euro Elaranta. Again, mentally,
That's what it is now.
Yeah. Mentals look good. Other than that, not much.
He can jump.
And they say that white men can't, but he could. He did. Hassan Ali. Goalkeeper. Handling's not too bad. Carly Lindbergh. He might have good first touch. Bit of flair. Bit of determination. Some fitness.
I was going to say, the flair alone is enough of a reason to start.
Yeah. All right, you could be interesting, Carly Lindbergh. Nilo Tarvanainen. Oh, he's gonna put those flowing locks where people wouldn't put their feet, but slowly, very slowly.
But actually missed the deadline by ages.
Yeah, he's too attractive to be quick, isn't he? Like, come on, he's just like running in slow motion.
He runs in. He's like, "There's a fire." He's gonna save the cat, but by the time he gets there,
he doesn't realise the Baywatch is slowed down. Like, he thinks that's actually the speed they run. So he's like, "Oh, I'll run that speed then." Yes, Limo, my friend, how are you, buddy? Hope you're well. Nice to see you. How is life in the Scouse house? Hope everything's good. Look at this guy, Sami Pontonen. Jumping reach. That's all he's got.
I'm gonna say,
Actually,
like, any player that's like got jumping reach above 10, like, he's your new striker.
Free kick taking 10 as well. Both footed. 6'2". He's 16. Oh, okay. Felix Turpinen. Centre back. Jumping reach 13. Determination. Teamwork. Again, no acceleration, but 15 for aggression.
You don't need acceleration when you're that aggressive.
No, exactly. Yeah,
You're just going to take the players out regardless.
Yeah, just kick them. Like, if you can catch them, you'll foul them. But again, Ioannis Sarakorski. Mentals are good. Another free kick taker. Nothing physically there, but look. Oh.
I don't know how to explain this, but he looks like the kind of person who celebrated when Elon Musk did the Roman salute. I don't know. I just get this vibe.
He's paid for a blue tick on Twitter. He's the sort of person who has his football club's initials in his username. Yeah. So, yeah, all right, Ioanni. Right wing for you. And he is a right winger. Of course he is. Of course he is.
Of course.
Of course he is. Even Johnny D, how are you, my friend? It has been a while. It has been a while, Johnny. Hope life's treating you well. Everything's very good back here, thank you. Oh, Dushko Nikolovsky, 1-star winger. Oh, yeah, now we're talking.
He can cross.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
Just stick him out there.
Yeah.
Don't expect him to run or do anything.
I mean, I don't expect that from any other players, and this guy's just fast. Give him the ball, and if he still has the ball by the time he's finished running, brilliant.
Composure 1, bravery 1, decisions 2,
concentration 2. Yeah, if someone shouts at him, he's like, "What?" Like, oh no, he's lost it again. And yeah, right, okay. There's some youngsters have turned up, which we're happy about. That's good. Right, other people, less so.
you've got a squad. I mean,
yeah.
could they survive next season? Maybe not. But at least you can meet the minimum requirement of 11 players on the pitch at the start of a game.
You know what? And that, if that's all we can do, then I'm getting sacked. But yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Oh no, you get sacked. What are you going to do without your £0 a week wage?
yeah. Find some other sucker to manage this team for nothing. Go on, I dare you. I should say, by the way, if I do get sacked, listen to the FM Show podcast, because I'm going to need everyone to listen to that to generate some ad revenue. Steve Sidwell's on it this week, by the way, if you haven't listened to it. Actual former footballer Steve Sidwell. So we have a bit of chat about our Jameson collaboration, which was so much fun. Really enjoyed it. So Sammy Rishanen is on loan at us.
I can't believe you're talking about that, Tony. How dare you? How dare you take sponsorships and shut out people under 18? And pushing a podcast that's against the terms and conditions. SI should ban you from Football Manager.
Yeah, at Miles, at Sega, at Idiot. Yeah, yeah. I'm being harassed by a troll who doesn't like the idea that the things that we make are popular. So yeah, and apparently what we should do is we should promote underage drinking to children. So shame on me for for saying, you know what, kids, alcohol's not for you. But yeah, Sammy Rissanen on loan from us, young goalkeeper, 2 stars. I mean, whoa, that's a Finnish international. He does, doesn't he? End of contract negotiations. Would you like no more pounds? Yes, I would. Thank you. Let it all out. I can't let it out, Lama. I've already, Mrs. J has already told me off for retaliating. And I was like, I know I shouldn't have done it, and I know I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have said anything online, because he's been blocked since October. It's been going on for a while. But yesterday I may have given him a couple of pieces of my mind and said exactly how I did not sit on the fence. And yeah, Mrs. J was like, I'm disappointed. I was like, I know. But hey, that's where we are. Limo even tried to help and actually, try and offer them some support. And yeah, he's called Limo a 3-year-old. So yeah, but you know what? Let's not give him the time of day that he clearly craves. So yeah, we're gonna focus back on ourselves, because I mean, he will be watching. He hates it, and he will be watching. So hello, you daft prick, right?
Firstly, sorry for bringing him up, but also, yeah. Mrs. J is a good one, as FM Llama says.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you just have to get it out there.
Oh, exactly. If it was a comedy club, he'd be crying. I would have gone to town on him, but he would have left. I would have stayed after everybody else in the audience would have left, and I'd be there hours after the show had finished. I'd still be going on at him. But yeah, on Twitter it's difficult. Right, I need a physio, which is one of the rejected song titles for I Need a Hero. They upped the ante a little bit. They went, physio's not really got that sexy vibe. So I need a physio. Yeah, okay, fine.
He's got to be strong. He's got to be fast. He's got to be fresh from the fight. That's exactly the qualities I want for my physio.
He's got a smell of tiger balm. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Really, he's got to be able to manipulate my muscles and yeah, really reduce the amounts of knots in my shoulders. So yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think you're right.
Has to be a sadist, because physios love putting other people through pain. Sick bastards. If you're a physio, I would just like to say these are the opinions of me, not Tony. He's already got in one fight tonight. I'm coming for you, physios. Yeah. Well, I'm not. I'm fat and unfit. I am slowly lurching towards you.
I tell you what, if there is any physios in, please get in touch, because I could do with having most of my body unclicked, thank you, because I'm now 45 years old, so everything hurts whenever I move. So, yeah, please get in touch. I like the look of Harry Vasala as a physio, because, I mean, he's roughly aware that he uses his hands, roughly. But he's adaptable and he can motivate people. That's all I'm basing that on.
I mean, that works, doesn't it? He is 66.
66.
You
So
know, bit of experience. You're going to have a lot of players coming and going. You know, is he going to remember their names?
I mean, there's a chance he might play up front as well. So let's see how that one works out. Antti Varnanen, or Atte Varnanen, sorry, has been recommended.
He's played a whole 6 games.
He has. As either centre forward or centre back. Evening, Callum. Welcome to Why Callum. Slough's most famous son, and not even from Slough. I mean, that's how good Callum is. He's now that famous in Slough. He's now, I reckon, he's probably up there with what, Keith from The Office, maybe. He's certainly more famous now than Finchy, I reckon. Quite possibly, I reckon. Actually, hang on. Amando Broha and Lewis Hall are from Slough. Sorry, Callum, we've just moved you down a smidge. Sorry, I was bigging you up, but apparently not.
Well, I mean, he's definitely still above Amando Broha. Like it's Lewis Hall might be ahead of Callum, but I'm not taking Callum beneath Broha.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, that works. How are you, Callum? Hope you're well. Welcome in. Welcome for Callum's viewers joining a call stream with myself and Musterman, we're going to do some data-driven recruitment in the second division of Finland, because why the devil not? So yes, if you don't follow, you're more than welcome to follow myself. I definitely suggest you follow Musterman as well, by the way, if you don't already do so. So there's that right there. Should say as well, we have a little Discord and we have a podcast, which we are definitely going to plug once again, to anger one individual. Right, let's get back to it. Atte Varnanen, centre back or centre forward?
I mean, it looks from the very limited data that we've got there that he has probably been playing as a centre back.
I would say so. But I do like that 90s getting him up front. It's normally the other way around though, isn't it? Normally centre forward to centre back. But this is going to go the other way.
I mean, which way round was Paul Warhurst? Did Warhurst go striking to centre back? Dublin definitely did.
Warhurst played everywhere, to be honest, didn't he? I think he was like right back / centre forward, not like Chris Sutton, who was centre forward / centre back. Yeah. So, Tracy Ullman's from Slough. Poor Callum's taking pelters here, and Callum's not even from Slough at this point now. Callum has nothing to do with Slough at all. Save yourself, Callum. Poland's finest, Matty Cassius from Slough. Oh, there we go. Dave Watson started out as a forward. You know what? Yeah, now we're talking. Doesn't matter who's from Slough. Callum's top of my list. Yes, Kev, that's exactly it. That is exactly it.
As a Villa fan, I can also safely say that Callum is miles ahead of Matty Cash on my list as well. Bless him.
Yeah, absolutely. Callum does have a Champions League medal that he won, not bought either. It wasn't like a sort of a collect the tokens affair. It's dramatic as well. It's dramatic watching Callum win a Champions League. It's been incredible. This Slough save's been brilliant. So yeah, do go and check the man out if you haven't already done that. It's all about the drama.
I'm just glad that SI have allowed the Slough story to continue. I think that's really gracious.
Yeah, and to be fair, to create some sort of smokescreen around the demise of FM25 to allow Callum to finish his save as well. But oh right, just quick, do a meeting in Japan. Do it in Japan. Just do anything. Just right. Callum needs to continue. That's what happens. That's what people do. Rang Miles and let him know we can almost release the next game. Just 13 more months, I'll win something else. Yeah, FA Cup incoming, I think.
It's enough time to sell Big Bennett and buy him back again.
Right, we're still just nudging on to get to this everyone gets released moment. Sammy Rishanen is happy to play alongside such talented group of players. I mean, talented
2 more
group of
days
players
until they all leave.
Yeah, Robert Rasmussen, he can go actually. Yeah, you can leave. And then we have to quickly ring them all back and go, I know you've left, but do you want to stay? Do any of you want to stay? Nico Hooker has signed a new no pounds contract. Evenings
You go out and celebrate that evening, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go out and celebrate that evening, right? All the teammates, they can all put in like, I don't know, maybe 5% of a week's wage. Buy nothing. So you know, a good night out. A good night out.
It is, Chris, in YouTube. It's the WTCS skid. Is it WTCS? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
It is indeed.
Let me get a link for you. Because yes, it is a little bit wonderful, isn't it? It's a good one, this one. It mixes up all the things we like, which is, you know, a bit of sort of smart design, clean fonts, and then it's also got data in there, which Musterman's a massive fan of, and he's trying to show me how to use it. And it's got pizza charts, which I like as well. I don't understand them, but I think they look cool. So, and for our chat as well, by the way, there's the link for the skin if anyone's interested.
How many players is that leaving? That's 27 news articles.
Bye, everyone. Yes, right, okay, so the team are leaving, right? This is going to be great. I'm just going to have a quick little look at our squad. Oh, that's better. That's better. Now we know who really wants to be here. Yeah? There we are. Oh,
Palace
dear.
is still there.
Who's still there, sorry?
Palace is still... Oh, is he going on a transfer?
He is. He's leaving. Okay. Yeah, he's leaving in December. Yeah. What's the idiot, not idiot ratio of people leaving? I mean, there's a couple of players that we probably need to try and go back to have another. I've made a list of people I want to go and have another conversation with, and say, look, do you really want to leave? Azodo, he has to go. He has to go, really. Vekinen can go. I've not written his name down. Hakspik. Right, Nico Salminen, I did make a note of. Purely for the fact he can play across the back line. He's not great, but versatile. Yeah.
Contract. I mean, you might as well try and offer straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say no.
He's not.
That's obviously going to be the other risk, is that they're all leaving on a free transfer and they don't want to entertain the idea whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kupiana, did I think about him? Oh yeah, wide target forward. Absolutely no interest. Okay, you don't have to be so horrible about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, just no. I have no interest whatsoever. Thank you. Oh, he's off to join car parks. Right. Okay. That's a shame. Hermanen.
He can play everywhere.
Yeah.
Except at HIFK.
Yeah. It's very much he can play everywhere for someone else. Tynanen's off to join Yapsh. Kalman? Kalman's one of ours, isn't he?
Would you suggest that the centre, like the city centre for... Where are Yaps based?
6'7" goalkeepers got no interest in joining us.
So they're based in Yarvanpar. Would you say that the centre of Yarvanpar is the Japsai?
They've got really... It's just this big wheel that they spin around. Do you ever go on the Jap's eye? It's not suitable for children. Right, Ulmanen has agreed a transfer to go and play in the second division of Greece.
Oh, not for Larissa.
No, not for Larissa, thankfully. Bastards. Puro's gone to Ekanas. Tukanainen is still free. He's still 33 as well. He will come back. We just need a striker, don't we? No.
Oh, that's just playing with you now.
That wasn't it? Oh. That's a little bit... He was just like, yeah, I'll have a conversation. Do you want to come... No. Not to stay, obviously. Sierra, no. He's not interested. I mean, none of them are going to be keen, really, are they, to return, I don't think. They've all got away.
I mean, at the same time, they've got to recognise that they could have been... Any team could have signed them at any point for free and didn't.
Yeah.
So, recognise your crap. It's fine.
Exactly.
Stick around for a little bit longer. We love you.
Yeah, exactly. This is all your options right here. This is literally it. Right. These lads, they want to win the league. They're going to have a great time. What does Zabinden want? Does he want any money? As a goalkeeper? Oh, nothing. Yes.
Kind of contract you like.
Look at that. Right. Let's go back through this list then, shall we? Mido. 36-year-old Mido. In you come, mate. Are we trialing them or are we just going for it straight away? Because I sort of don't have any option really, do we?
Genuinely, and it might be a little bit gamified.
Yeah.
But you might as well sign them.
Yeah, true.
Because you're not paying them any money, and they will leave as soon as a team actually wants them.
Yeah.
So there's no harm. I mean, yeah, an amateur contract is just like a trial, but you have a bit more control over them.
Yeah, and you can just release them on a free, can't you? And then away they go.
Exactly.
So, even Gino Zanelli comes in. I mean, if you want to be a fringe player at a team that has no players, I mean, you don't really think a lot of yourself, do you?
I'm just happy to be here.
Literally that, isn't it?
To be fair, that describes my Sunday league career.
Yeah.
I get to play. Thank you.
Well, if someone gets injured, yes, but other than that, not so much.
Actually, no, wait a second. So, Sunday League, you pay for the honour of playing. You know, your subs are like £3 a week or whatever.
Yeah.
A game.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't these players paying you? Think of that. That's £3 every game.
Mm-hmm.
33 quid. 27 games a season. You could have made like £1,000.
They could have afforded to pay me.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. But no, I'm doing it for the love of the game. Yeah. Emergency backup at a team with no players. Exactly, Cass. This is like shocking, isn't it? There's nobody here, and it's yeah, right. I'll play. If everyone else is injured, I'll play. I mean, have some belief in yourself. I've got high hopes for Bakary Traore. I mean, they're
100%.
misguided hopes, obviously, but
no disrespect to the Finnish, but I've got high hopes for all the non-Finnish players.
Yeah. Right. Anybody who turns up, we'll have a great time. Right.
When's Gamps Pedersen available? When's his contract expire?
December, I think. And that is going to be glorious. Yeah. I mean, we could. Oh no, no interest at this moment. At this moment in time, obviously, things will change when he when he sees that there's nobody else around.
He's been playing football till he's 43 because he loves the game that much. But the moment that HIFK come in, he's like, "Yep, retirement."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't do this anymore. I really can't. I've got a family.
So the biggest issue, I think, we need to look for strikers. Any strikers that are available on a free transfer that are willing to come.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at this. This is Calma de Anga. A Segundo Volante? I don't think so. No.
I mean,
a playmaker, though.
It's
A
dribbling.
DLP. Vision and passing of 11 at this level. That is like... He's Zidane. He is Zidane.
Look at that pace. I can see him as an attacking player there. Like, acceleration. Yeah. Off the ball is as good as his positioning, essentially.
First touch. He's going to try a back heel, isn't he? Oh. Prime Conor Gallagher. Oh, yeah. And there's Carly Connan, a goalkeeper. Handling of 14. My word. We're going to win the league. He's going to be JJ Kocher. Yeah. Right, now the chairman wants to step aside. Okay, this is... I mean, is this good or bad? We don't know.
How does that work with a fan-owned club?
The person who has the Wi-Fi is going to change the password. I think. Jonathan Gustev. One of us has replaced him as Cass. There you go. Yeah. Right. In the chat, who wants to be in charge? Hands up. And remember, as always, this is not a democracy. Nominate Zeep. That's a fair shout, actually. Zeep is relatively sensible.
Relative doing the heavy lifting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love you, Zeep.
I mean, the United CFM says no. They're out. We're going to nominate Denise Van Houten. Fair. I think that's the only obvious suggestion, really, isn't it? Oh, God, could you imagine that? Imagine if Denise Van Houten was our new chairperson. And so Denise Van Houten's in the bins.
I mean, yeah, like, you'd be so scared, though.
Oh, 100%. She'd rule with an iron fist. Yeah.
Sucker!
Like, yeah, can you dig it, sucker? And Gino Zanelli as well. I mean, look, these are B+ players, B- players, just literally by the fact that they have turned up. 37-year-old C-. Oh dear. Should do what with an iron fist? Well, exactly, Franco. Wouldn't be a gangster's paradise anymore, or maybe it would be. Don't know. Depends if you like that sort of thing. But is it wrong that Zanelli actually looks decent? 37 years old.
He's a Finnish international.
Yeah.
Former Finnish international.
Potentially still current. I love moves into channels, winds up opponents, tries tricks. He's 37 years old. He's still being a dickhead. Love it. Like, just hasn't let it go at all. If the new chairperson demands us to use young players in matches, we're doomed. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, that is a good point. We could be done. Can he play in platform shoes to get the height up a bit? That is a good point, Kev. He is on the short side. Christian Lima's going to join the club. That's a centre-back. Oh, look at this. Not a centre-back, apparently. A central midfielder on attack.
That'll do perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping reach 11. Might be a striker.
Yeah. Decision making 15. Why is he here? that shows bad decisions, actually. Cass, I've downloaded an updated database. Salomon Kalou has unreal attributes for a man who's nearly 40. Interesting. Salomon Kalou has a club. Has a club. But doesn't have a contract. Oh, boo. Oh, that would have been incredible. Sarinen's going to come in. I mean, look, yeah, we've literally filled the squad up already, haven't we? If anything, we've got too many players
strikers.
Now. Yeah.
We need strikers. You need to look for strikers.
Yeah, well, I'm just bringing all the players that we've agreed in so far. Bakary Traore. There he is. There he is. There's our boy. Zbinden, goalkeeper's in. The Reza. Looks fine. Prince isn't very good.
Prince Makuma.
Oh, he's a backup. He's a backup for when Mohamed's injured. Vigo, Yunus, Marilyn, Usher. Ushering in a new dawn. Look at this. Vigo plays everywhere.
Boom.
Vigo Boomer.
He could play on the wing, could play left back, could play midfield. Great player.
Yeah. And you know what? We haven't even used any data to sign him. We just found he was free. Just right, you'll do. Yunus is not very good, but he's come from the Reapers. So, and everyone's angry.
Don't fear the Reapers.
Do not fear the Reapers. Embrace the Reapers. Merilinen looks fine.
Yeah, that was the guy that was a right back that we were wondering whether he could play centre back. It looks like he can.
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably get away with that. Green dots all over the place.
Jumping reach.
Oh. 37-year-old goalkeeper incoming. Angry. Rupert Pakkanen. Castrati, yeah. It looks very much like we're playing 8 in midfield at this stage. Oh, they're angry with those players, aren't they? So, right, we've got a full house now. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in terms of what we have now, so Zbinden goes in goal. Let's try and remember who we bought with actual thought process behind it. So Traore is going to go on the wing, but probably on the bench first. Do you reckon?
I think he's.
Or do you reckon he's going to start over Hilton?
Better choice over Hilton until Hilton improves.
Yeah. Boomer needs to go up into the first team as well. And with a jumper reach of 13, he might be in the first team. Saarinen. Right. Traore for Hiltonen. Plus Hiltonen's nice to have as an option.
Absolutely. Main Danga. How'd you say his name? Was it his mate?
Mandanga. He's got to go in there, hasn't he? So he's going to... Right, what are we going to do with him then? Because I guess if Mohamed's... See, they reckon Mohamed's a half-back. But, or a bit higher central midfielder, possibly?
I think so. Mohamed's performance showed that he was a good defensive midfielder. I think it makes sense for him to carry on in that role where he was performing very, very well. And then you look to bring Maidanga in, perhaps in a more
advanced role.
I'd be thinking like a box to box kind of role, someone that does a bit of everything, because
Hmm.
he's a midfielder who can do a bit of everything. So he will attack, he will defend, um, and
Mm.
then maybe give what's his name, the good player, your star player that was already there, Mahija,
Yeah,
more license to get forwards down that left. So
yeah.
you bit more defensive with your central midfielder, bit more attacking with your fullback.
Okay. So have him as a box to box, you say, yeah?
I think that makes sense from what we've seen of, well, Mahajir basically.
The
We
Mahajir
haven't
can
seen
be,
anything from Madianga to.
yeah, and get him getting up and about, and then Rahimi as well. So they want to get him going up and about like that, right? And then we want to find, who else do we bring in? We brought in some centre backs, didn't we? Which we could do with actually putting in there. So let's look at our list here.
So I think Pakinen and Saarinen were the main ones.
Yeah, I think they were, weren't they? Packing in 7 for accelerations. Where did he come from? He came from TPS, which is the top division, isn't it? No, second division.
Yeah.
And Saarinen. Yeah, Saarinen definitely. Yeah, he's
Came
got a
from
bit of pace
Sexy.
about him. Sexy Saarinen. Sexy Saarinen. And well, actually, we've got Quakamo, who was one of our original lads, or Meralainen. We could move him from right back and put him at centre back.
I mean,
Maybe even,
yeah. I was going to say, what was the?
even Lena. I suppose maybe we could move him back from central midfield to centre back, but no, maybe not.
I think ultimately a lot of it's going to come down to what you see in pre-season as well.
Yeah.
Well, depending on if you're going to play friendlies, as in actually, you're going to arrange friendlies.
I
Yeah.
tend to play them, to be honest. I do tend to play them so I can see what they look like, and see how the team looks, especially given the fact we don't know anything about them. Right. Okay. So yeah. So there's going to be question marks. There really isn't there. Selena can go on the bench. Haidara and Suka. I mean, that's
You've got someone like
that's a
Castrati on the
great
bench.
spread as well, isn't it? From what you can just play. Just yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. I'll go all over the place. That's fine.
What position do you play? Shaft or balls? Shaft or balls? No, that's only.
Yeah, yeah. What position do you play? Yes, yes. HIFK Where's our Castrati? That's the lad there, isn't it? Yeah.
I was going to say, I think you want Castrati on the bench as like see what he's like as a playmakery type.
Yeah, but it does seem as though that's the key area here. We have 2 strikers still to fill, 2 positions, which I mean they're going to be the tough spots to fill, aren't they?
So I mean, it is worth pointing out that Rahimi can play up top.
Yeah, there is that.
Which means that you could potentially find yourself looking at, someone like Zanelli. Zanelli looked good. He's left-footed. He can cross. If you've got a big man to aim for, maybe freeing up that spot for Rahimi to play up top could work.
Yeah. Well, there's a big guy.
That guy's 6'4".
Yeah. Hambo first blood. Yeah. Get him in. Can we loan players?
And anywhere that if you any loans you can get without paying wages, brilliant.
Right. Okay. Well, let's have a look at those two lads we've just had a bit of a nosy on there then. See what they say. What's our scouting looking like? Did we recruit everybody on that list?
Pretty much.
I feel like we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay. There you go. Yeah, list. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's only Mido we didn't go for. And Gusev, who's still contracted somewhere else. Right, Hambo's coming in. Fagerstrom. You sit next to 60 players.
I was going to say, I have a feeling like HIFK aren't the kind of team that will have a room big enough to unveil all the signings.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a second division Finland Chelsea at this point now. I've got 2 dressing rooms with all these players.
Well, the players flock to the team. They love the idea of a fan-owned club. They like the idea of being an amateur team, and they're like, well, I need to stay fit, so we'll come and we'll help out this side whilst I'm in between jobs.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shipping container. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like one of those trendy, hipster shipping containers. Yeah. Right, so Hambo played for Mariheim last year.
Beautiful.
Scored 2 goals.
Former Brighton and Sampdoria player. Didn't play any games for him.
No, but he knows Quagliarella. So that's good enough for me. Yeah. He's cultured.
What was that? Yeah, 100% sign him. Like, he's
6'4".
minimum jumping reach of 12.
Yeah. Make him vice captain. You can be whatever. You can be the mayor if you want. Right, get him in. Okay. And then Jon Fagerstrom. That's little John. And
That's little John. Brilliant.
6'1". Pacey. Right, 2 up top. He played for Ekenash. Scored 4 in 12. That's a goal every 3 games.
Yeah. Scored like 1 in 14 for you in the past. Well, not you.
Yeah.
But HIFK. 1 in
Us.
15.
26. Good age as well. Right. Yeah, we've got 2 strikers now. Brilliant.
Problem solved. You're going to win the league.
This is easy, isn't it? And we've not even had to do any maths at all. It's been brilliant. Right. Is there anything we do need to do that's remotely thought-provoking or not? It's not,
So
is there?
I wouldn't say there is. Realistically, so what we know about the players that we've brought in is we know that we've got... we know about the profiles of Kadeja. That name's wrong. Let me look him up again. Mahija. We know the profile of Mohammed. We know the profile of Rahimi. We've seen probably enough about Pakkanen and the other centre back we brought in. We know that we've got that the right back option probably does need to be slightly more defensive, so that makes sense as well.
Yeah.
So we've made tweaks based on the data for the players we've got.
Look at this. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mr. Man, but
yeah. But that's I think ultimately what it's going to come down to now is working out those last couple of roles.
Yeah.
So what is your strike partnership going to be?
I mean, it's very much pressing forward and target forward, I think, isn't it?
And it looks that way, but it might be that as you play a couple of games, you go back to the poacher. Maybe you don't. But that I think is probably all you're essentially looking at now. It's just trying to make those last couple of tweaks as you get familiar with those new players.
Yeah. Definitely. Look at that. How do you say Quinn and Phillips in Finnish? Yeah, that's 100% it. Take it easy, Rich, by the way. Nice to see you, my friend. Pleasure. And in comes Mido as well. 37-year-old Sierra Leonean. And again, he still looks pretty decent.
Those mentals are good.
Mental.
Those physicals, maybe not.
Yeah, but this is what it's all about, right? Take a few risks, bring some interesting players in. Like
his mentals are nutty.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
even
Newty.
Mastermind. Newty, the Nutri-Bullet, we'll call him. Yeah, he's good for us.
And that's
more signings to be unveiled. I mean, all the signings, I guess. I do like the fact we've signed 46 players and spent £0. So this is pure money ball. We're making profit at this point, aren't we? Because we're not. This is like we're saving money on all these players.
With the only problem being is that there was no way to actually make profit on the end of it, unfortunately.
But we're not losing money, so
indeed,
in that sense,
literally every player has to be undervalued by the market if they're not getting paid.
Exactly. So, I think we are winning. It's just ball. It's just ball, as Zeep says. Yeah. Vigo, the main villain from Ghostbusters 2. I was wondering which Ghostbusters it was. That's why I hadn't mentioned which Ghostbusters. But yeah, Ghostbusters 2. That's right. Well done, Jason. How many more? How long have we got until we start off? Keeps flashing through. 61 days. 61 days.
Against TPS, what? Didn't TPS get promoted?
They did.
So do you have a cup competition to start off your season?
Why are we playing First Division games? Oh yeah, Cup. Yeah, First Division Cup.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But if TPS got promoted, surely they're not in the First Division to be in the First Division Cup? Surely they should now be in the Swarman Cup.
I mean, we shouldn't be in the Second Division Cup, should we? Should we be? We should be in the Second Division Cup, shouldn't we? But I don't know.
Just don't question it, and it's all good.
Yeah, just be like, what? Why are we still here? Why are you here? Be fine, totally fine.
Are you a organise your friendlies person yourself, or is that all left to your manager to do, your assistant to do?
Somebody else can sort that out for me. I do have an assistant manager. That's good.
You literally don't get paid enough to do that.
Exactly. I don't mind managing them, but someone else can sort them. Like, you send the emails out, you get it booked in. There you go. Someone else can sort that.
Are they doing your training as well? Things like set pieces, or have you been convinced by the Jameson's challenge to take over everything?
No, I haven't. No. I think we did we did set pieces actually. Did we? Yes, we did. Yeah, we did the near post corners, which was nice. It hasn't worked. We haven't scored any more than we did before, but it's fine. Game to stay. Yeah. So what's happening in your world then, Musterman? We'll just do a quick little debrief on where you are. I'll give you a few seconds while you're busy having a slight asthma attack at the minute, which is a terrible time to to come to you and go, can you talk to us about... Oh, no, you can't. Oh, dear.
Yeah, no. So I'm expiring. This is my last 5 minutes on Earth.
Yeah.
No,
Shit, man.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, we're in that funny place, aren't we, with FM right now? Obviously, we've got a finite period of time. We don't necessarily know how long that is until the next one, but got a couple of things that I think could be quite interesting coming up. Started a new series on Wednesday, as you mentioned, with Ilves.
Yeah.
So where we're looking at countering against specific opposition without abandoning your tactical approach. Because it's all good and well saying, well, if you want to play against a Klopp team, you have to do this, this, and this. But if that's not what how your team plays, that information isn't very useful. So that should be quite fun. And hopefully gonna start up something new from a more narrative sense. So I had the PAOK series at the beginning of FM24, where we went off to Zaragoza. I want to do something similar in Italy, so that might be starting up next week. Possibly going to be streaming some of that during the daytime. It won't be the entirety of it being streamed, but just whilst I have some free time during the daytimes, I'll stream it, and then we'll put it all together for the YouTubes.
Yeah. That sounds good. I like that. I like it a lot. Cass has made a very, very valid point. Let's have a little look and see if there's any more players that are interested or indeed available and might be interested in coming and signing for us. So what I've done is I've gone straight to anyone who is unattached. And it says here, interesting transfer, but there can't be this many people, surely.
No, I think that's about right. So when I went forwards to around this time, there was a list of 71 players. Of those 71 players, only 16 of them had played enough games for us to have data to look at.
Oh, right, okay. Got you. Excellent. Okay, got that. Because, yeah, here's me thinking, like, there can't be this many amount of players that actually wants to join us for no money, surely. But, yeah, let's offer some trials in then, because, again, we don't actually have to... how many non-EU players we allowed? We're allowed quite a few, aren't we? Am I right in thinking that? There's quite a large, like, catchment area, because, like, all of Africa counts as free, and Oceania counts as free. So it's like you end up with like a whole bunch of like Bermudans running around, like Gambians. You're like, don't quite understand how we've done this, but yeah.
Looking at the rules, nations treated as EU, shockingly, is all nations in Europe, all European Free Trade Association nations. That kind of makes sense. That seems a little bit more than EU, but yeah, I can get that. Yeah. Other countries considered EU are all African, Caribbean, and Pacific group of states nations.
Obviously.
All nations in Caribbean, all nations in Oceania. Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and Ukraine.
I think that seems reasonable.
And you're allowed a maximum of no more than 3 non-EU players in the match squad.
I mean, you'd struggle to find a non-EU player if everybody is classed as EU. Harry Koshigbo?
The match squad must have at least 9 players trained by a club in Finland.
Right, okay.
So you do need to have a strong Finnish contingent.
Yeah. Which I think, thankfully, we look like we've got at the moment, don't we? I think it's Finnish and French.
You've got a big enough squad that even if you don't, you could definitely rotate in and out a lot of Finnish players.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just bring a whole bunch of these in to see what's going on.
Good name. I
Merkin
I
Bushy,
wouldn't even
yeah.
offer him a trial.
Just
I'd be signing Bushy straight away.
get him straight in. FC Honka, and then I mean, they're a real team, aren't they? They
Yep, in the top division.
I see. Yeah, see, Honka want Bushy, of course they do. Right.
I like to think that HIFK's training facilities are just like a small local park. And like every Wednesday and Friday night now, there's like 70 players descending upon it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the fact that they all go like, what? Like, no, we didn't. No, there's too many people here. Too many people. Like, this guy might be half decent.
Looks
Arian
all right.
Kabashi.
So Arian Kabashi was playing top division football when we left Mariaham.
Velati.
I can't remember. It might have been Lata indeed. So he might have stayed there during the course of our save. Oh, there were two Kabashis actually. It might have been his brother.
Right, okay. I mean, he doesn't want
But
any
still,
money,
I mean,
so...
like they were top division players. So that would be an amazing signing. Depending on how random the attributes are between saves.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, 28 years old. Has he got another Kabashi, has he? Our favoured personnel was show up, shouldn't it, at some point?
Yeah, but in my save where we're now in Darmstadt, which is 2030, he's still at Larty. Played 187 games.
Okay. I'm having a quick little look to see if there's still a player there. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like he might have left. Maybe this is the guy. Maybe. Are we about to do a coup? Like a coup signing?
I think you are.
Yeah. Rockman looks like he's off somewhere else.
That's fine.
That's absolutely fine, is it? Okay.
Oh, Danny Rockman.
Juta Nakanishi as well doesn't look like he's very good, sadly. Positioning's very good though. But
I mean, I like the idea of a Japanese player in Finland. I think that feels cultured.
it does, doesn't it? It does. Let's give him all of his trial time. Let's give him all the trial. Like, right, you can prove to us why you're here. Because I think that would work really nicely. Richard Tabiri, jumping reach 14 to 20. 6'3", could be a centre forward, could be a striker, could be a centre back.
Could be all of them.
Could be all, exactly. As Cass says, this very much feels like a TJ sign and get a Japanese player in for no reason. Yep. That's the way we do it. Just wait until Morten Gams Pedersen turns up, and then it's going to be like, oh, here we go. Right, Kabashi's
That's going
in.
to be incredible. Boom.
Oh, mate, we're going to win the Champions League in 2 years at this rate. This is ridiculous. Look at this. 13 for leadership. We literally have a captain now.
Right, he does all the things you want a centre back to do, right?
Yeah.
Stands in the right place. Brave.
Kicks people.
Jumps.
Yeah. Like, pulls shirts. Yeah. Great. Love him. Big fan of him. Kabashi, no nonsense. Absolute no nonsense, just right. Get him. Captain Ariane. Yeah. That probably is actually, yeah. Have we even got captains yet? Oh, Mohammed. Holton, and these were players that were given captain's armbands last year because they were my players. Like, just not seeing
I
us
thought they might have just
nepotistic.
been captains by default because everyone else left.
It's possibly that as well, to be honest.
So talking about FM plans,
Mhm.
how about in terms of like reflection over the FM24 like cycle? How do you feel about the Greece save now that like the dust has settled? The Pentagon.
Oh, the Pentagon was a stupid idea, to be honest. Like the thing is with the Greece save, right? Is I loved that save. I had so much fun with it. I think that we all embraced Larissa. I think we could see year on year improvement. We had like legends in the save. We had Job, of course, who should really have been Greek. We had who else did we have? We had Super Ronnie Edwards for a little bit. Came and joined us again, a player that we loved when we managed Peterborough years ago. And just we won the league. We won the league once, and it was like that was brilliant. And then we got to that Europa League final, and to get sacked the night before, I was just like, this is bullshit. And this for me, the save just broke at that point because I was like, there's nothing else. Like we went to try and take charge of Offie for a little bit, but I was like, it just didn't feel like anything at that point, and I couldn't connect with it again. And I was like, literally, the save is broken, and I was really quite sad at that point because I was like, oh, I hadn't planned for the save to end. So, yeah, I felt a bit robbed, to be honest, of the opportunity to finish it. Does that make sense?
100%. I mean, obviously it doesn't make it feel better in hindsight, but there is something quite nice narratively about an unhappy ending.
Yeah.
I know that sounds a bit unfair, but like, a real manager's career, 17 years, brought a title to the club, and it then just goes really sour.
Yeah.
Like that. There's something kind of poetic about that. Like, that's not an experience you expect to have. And yeah, like, shitty to deal with. My God, that moment when you hit continue.
Oh, it was brutal, wasn't it? It was brutal. None of us saw it coming. It just flew out, and it was like, what now? Okay, let's see what happens here. But yeah, it was one of those, like, you're right. The outcome doesn't have to always be positive, and usually in my saves it's not. And I think that was the frustrating thing. We were genuinely making progress, and I think we were all like, we might do something decent here. Like, we might actually build a nation by accident. Because the national team was dreadful. We were having such a bad time with the national team. But I think we got up to like 6th or something in the European coefficients. So I was like, and we kept getting teams in Europe and doing well. And I was like, if we won that Europa League, excuse me, I'm thinking that was us back in the Champions League again, which we became Champions League regulars. But it would have been like, we could have actually really dialed up a little bit more. I'm just, to be honest, I'm sort of like almost stalling a little bit, Cass. You're right. A £2,000 transfer budget is coming in. What have we got? We're still not getting offered any money. That's impressive. We've turned professional. Let's just agree to this. Reach the latter stage of the First Division Cup. Reach the Championship top half. We're going to agree to that. Can I have any?
It won't even allow you to increase it.
It's just not even like looking at it. But there we go. Full-time, official, professional club. But does this now bring us a problem? That we're going to need to now bring in some players who are actually professional.
But you have no wage budget.
Nope. I mean, we could put our transfer budget. We have got wages.
Okay.
5,000. Oh, right. So actually, all this that we've done right now, release everybody. Buy
Well,
everyone.
no, because they're on amateur contracts, right?
Yeah,
So these are just long-term trials.
yeah.
You've now got them on trial until you just like instead of having it being only 4 weeks,
Until we
you can
sign
have them
a
on
player.
trial all the way through pre-season, all the way through that like pre-season cup, and then sign the ones that perform well for you.
I feel like we probably need to give some money to Mahaja and some money to the players that we actually want to keep at the club. Madianga, Mohammed. This is a very interesting turn. This is a very interesting... Kabashi could do with some cash. Right, Kabashi, I know you've turned up and you don't want any money, but do you want 50 quid? You can have this. Like, that's nice, isn't it?
You know what will happen though is you'll go into to negotiate and they'll be like, I like 10 grand a week, please.
Or they'll just go and join HJK instead and be like, oh yeah, we're off there for 50 quid, thank you. Yeah, this has changed everything. And I don't know who to press the button on first because I don't want to break it.
Don't press again, right? So, what did that article say? It says they will have to be moved to over the course of time.
Yeah.
So that inbox thing. In the near future.
In the near future.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, that is down to interpretation, isn't it? Let's also get another coach in because we can get a coach here. Right, okay. Okay.
So have you got friendlies scheduled now? Did your assistant manager do their job?
They have not. They have not done that yet. Get a fitness coach. Ooh, yes. Right, no, we haven't got friendlies in just yet. But presumably presumably they'll... Ah, here we go. Right, now the save pulls through, so they should start to do that now, shouldn't they? We're delighted that you've agreed to sign a new contract worth no pounds. Yeah.
Even more cool now, they're telling you to pay the players.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, big task on now. Work out which ones you're going to give money to. You can have nothing for it.
Yeah. Love what you've done in convincing loads of people to come for no money. However, we do want you to upset a few of them and offer money to just some. So, if you don't mind, that'd be great. Yeah. Right, so we kick off against Yapsh and we finish against McKelly.
To be fair, the league doesn't start till April. You've got 4
so
months.
friendlies will drop in for a while. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting turn of events. I like that. Let's go up to Christmas, and then what we'll do is we'll probably sort of like class ourselves as done for the evening. I think. Oh, look at that! Now there's. Oh, I wonder whether our old players want to come back now.
I mean, money has a funny way of impacting players, doesn't it?
It does a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah. We'll see how they won't make friendlies because you might go further in the cup. Oh, that's a fair point as well, actually. That does make sense. Enoch Adu, 34. Alan Henrique. I mean,
we need that. We need a Brazilian player now that Tiquinho's gone.
Yeah, and he's a centre back, so let's bring him in. That sounds like a really good idea. What's the best way to handle really long pre-seasons like this? Usually, some creators would holiday. Not me. Not me. I can't afford to go on holiday. We haven't got any money, so we just have to keep pressing the continue button. Some people do it offline as well, but I'm not one of those people who do that. I feel as though I have to do everything online because I feel as though if I don't do it, then I'm shortchanging people, or they don't trust that I've done it properly. I don't know. Does that make sense?
I get that. I mean, I am a friendlies offline person, largely because I watched the friendlies more than I watched the like. I will put it on like comprehensive or even full match if I want to try and see things tactically, which I don't want to. I love my guys that come along and watch the streams, and I just feel genuinely guilty about the prospect of putting them through a full match, especially one with zero stakes attached to it.
Yes. Yeah. No. That makes sense. That makes complete sense. Yeah, I'm the same. But again, it's just like, well, we're here. We're doing it this way. So let's try and work it out. You might have seen, I don't know if you did or not there, I've just taken Stefan Sessegnon on trial. 40-year-old Stefan Sessegnon.
It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. He said yes.
I love that. They've went, right, we're professional. You can pay players. And I'm like, I'm getting Stefan Sessegnon in. They're like, what? That's not what we've discussed.
Will Morton Gams Pedersen's change his mind?
Yeah. Oh, that's a point, actually.
You've got Stefan Sessegnon and Morton Gams Pedersen. It's going to be something beautiful.
Still not interested. No. And apparently Sessegnon's not very good. Surplus to requirements. But Miguel Nazaret apparently is quite decent. Colombian centre-back. And Alan Henrique. He might be fine. We don't know. So yeah, so there could be some more bits and pieces to do. I'm wondering, do you want to continue this sort of thing, Musterman, or should we just nudge this on ourselves individually as we go forward? Would you like to come and join us again at any point?
I mean, yeah, I could certainly. Oh, I mean, would it probably make sense, depending obviously around schedules and stuff, but maybe when you get to the league splitting next season, and then we can kind of have like an assessment of where it's at before the season ends, like how that could potentially inform like little tweaks here and there, as you'll naturally be going into the championship group, probably top of the table.
Yeah.
By I expect like at least 15 points.
Clearly.
Now you're professional.
Exactly. I think you're probably right. I think that's a good idea, actually. If we do it at that point, and then we can get ourselves prepped for the following season. Luka Heskinen. Now, is he one that we've just signed tonight? I think he is, isn't he? He's already wanting more games. I mean, mate, I can cut you right now. Like, don't you start. Or was he one of our original players? I think maybe he was original.
I think
possibly.
he might have been there originally.
Yeah, I think he is, isn't he? Yeah. It's hard to find it in this long list of players, isn't it? Yeah, I think he's the last seasoner, isn't he?
He was. Yeah. He was. He didn't play any games for you last season.
No. And he wants to play games, which is understandable, but sadly, I mean, now, mate, we've got some actual midfielders. I would love to just let you play because you've got boots, but sadly,
he spent all of last season like sitting there going, okay, I won't get my chance, but everyone's going to leave. So I'm going to get my chance next year. This is going to be my big moment. Yeah. It's finally happening. It's happening. And then you sign 400 players.
Yeah, that's the one. Let's see. Is there an option for loaning out? There is not, is there? You can be a squad player. Oh, he doesn't want... Right. Away you go then. You're a non-contracted player. He's the first one gone.
He thought he was going to be a important player, having not played.
Oh yeah,
That is bold.
It's really, really just like, right, Gaffer. I know I haven't played a lot. I haven't played at all, actually. But pretty sure this is my moment right now, right? I did see you brought... I saw you brought Maddie Anger in, and he does look good. But he plays in my position. So where am I going to play? Like, you're Darryl Strawberry. You play right field. You know, are you better than me?
Great
I've never heard of you.
Great reference.
Thank you. Right. So yeah. Okay. We've managed to move someone out early doors. That's fine. Right. I tell you what. Let's load ourselves up, ready for raiding, shall we? See who's around. Who do you suggest, Musterman? Have you got a preference?
Now I'm put on the spot. Let's see who's about. Well, I've clicked on following. There's some fella called Tony Jameson.
Ah, not him. No. You know what? There's somebody here. Let me bear with me 2 seconds. Are they managing? I mean, they are managing in the Premier League, but I do like Ramadan Streamathon. I do think that's quite a nice thing to do. So I'm tempted to suggest that we go to the Go Oddie. Doesn't look like he has many followers either, so what do you reckon?
That sounds like a cracking idea. What's he called? Sorry, I haven't seen him.
I will ping you his details in Discord.
Beautiful.
Yeah, cool. Right.
Okay, there go, Oddie. I guessed the right spelling almost, apart from the wrong first word.
Yeah, that's fine. It's close enough, isn't it? It's close enough. Right, Musterman, thank you very, 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 very much for this. I've loved this. My crowd, if you haven't followed Musterman, what are you doing? Why, like, honestly, we've been here all night. If you haven't dropped in a follow by now, like, come on, sort yourselves out. Like, you need to. Yeah, Musterman's crowd, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hope you've enjoyed it. When are you on next, Musterman?
So, firstly, a huge thank you for having me on. This has been awesome. This has been great fun. When am I next on? I'm next going to be on Monday evening with my save that started in Finland but is now in Germany. We have just got to off-season. So we've just finished our season, and I'll be doing pretty much the exact same thing, but in Germany and with some European money to work with, which should be quite fun.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see you guys come along. Again, for those guys who are still on my channel, despite the poor quality, why you haven't migrated over to Tony's channel already, I don't understand. But yeah, like, Jesus Christ, if you're not following Tony already, what on earth are you playing at? It's a bit redundant me giving the shout out, because if they're following you. If they're not following you, I'm going to have words with them next stream anyway. So you'll be warned.
Sit them down, right? You lot, like Phil Brown it. Do it that way. Tell them all off on there publicly. Yes, no, you know what? Honestly, this has been great, and I do think we need to do more of this because I think everyone's enjoyed it. Let us know in Discord as well what you've enjoyed the most of, and if you want more of a sort of clinic, because I'm happy to cut this all up and make this into YouTube stuff, and just wait until we get into actually searching and trying to find the data. We'll definitely make some videos out of that. So I think this is definitely something we're going to continue to do going forward. So we're going to drop the raid now. We're going to go to There Go Oddie. As I say, they're doing a Ramadan stream. Drop the follows on them. Give them some love. Everyone, it's been an absolute pleasure. Take care of yourselves. Have a cracking weekend. Probably not about on Sunday. Got to do a podcast on Sunday. So probably not out then, so it'll be back Monday. So yeah, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. All the best. Speak to you soon. Bye now. Bye.